This episode of the Giant Bombcast is brought to you in part by Lisa, an innovative direct-to-consumer online mattress brand that is also socially conscious. In fact, for every 10 mattresses Lisa sells, they donate one to a shelter through their 110 program. Not to mention, they've got a patented universal adaptive feel. That's right, Lisa is designed for all types of sleepers. And now Lisa's expanded its offerings to include the Lisa pillow, blanket, foundation, and frame. You can try a Lisa mattress in your own home for 100 nights risk-free. It's available in the US, UK, Canada, and Germany. You get it online, free shipping, and this 100% American-made mattress ships compressed in a box right to your door. If you want to try it out ahead of time, you can head to the Lisa Dream Gallery in Soho, NYC, and Virginia Beach, and also over 80 West Elm stores nationwide. And now, for President's Day, get $125 off the Lisa mattress, plus a free pillow when you go to leesa.com/bombcast. That's leesa.com/bombcast for $125 off the Lisa mattress plus a free pillow. This offer is valid until February 28th. Act now.
Hi, it is Tuesday, February the 20th.
Hello.
2018.
220, you know what that means.
What's that mean?
Get half fucking blazed.
Half-baked?
Yeah.
Not full.
So watch Half Baked.
Yeah, pretty good. That's right.
Eat some Ben & Jerry's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which one?
Half-baked.
Oh, do they have that?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, then.
Yeah.
It's
Fish
like
food.
cookie dough and brownie batter.
Okay.
It's all right.
Yeah.
It's
Brownie
not.
batter.
I like a Cherry Garcia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Better than Jerry Garcia.
Yeah.
You think so?
Doesn't take much.
By what standard?
By the standard of we could take a shit in the corner and it'd be like, that's bad, but
Ooh.
at least it's not the Grateful Dead.
Oh.
Man.
Oh boy.
Huh. I don't think there will be a lot of people in our audience that take issue with
No,
that,
there's
so
someone
I
out
guess
there going, man, fucking no, man.
I don't think we're going to hear
They're out on
much.
tour right now, so
Yeah,
they're probably
with John
not
Mayer.
listening.
Are they actually?
Probably, yes.
Wait, are you not?
I don't know.
Is there still some
I believe
semblance?
John Mayer.
Oh, yeah,
Mayer
some
tours,
semblance of
yes.
a Grateful Dead?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I first moved here, actually, the house that we rented,
Yeah.
like an Airbnb kind of thing, he was leaving his house because he was going to go on tour with the Dead to follow them.
Yeah.
So
There are quite a few houses in the city that you will hear some story about the Grateful Dead or Janis Joplin or something.
Oh, I'm sure,
Related to, hey, they did this on the doorstep.
Yeah.
And you don't want
Again, they took a shit on the
in the
doorstep,
course, yep.
and people are like, well,
That's what they're known for.
yeah,
It's their claim to fame.
yeah. That and fancy ties.
Yeah.
really?
Big in the 60s.
Oh yeah, I suppose. Yeah. Okay.
Gang is all here. Ben
Yeah.
back. Coming in hot.
Yep.
Yep.
Thanks,
Just
back.
got
Thanks.
off a train.
Thanks to Bart.
I said to the conductor, get me to San Francisco. I got a podcast to do. And he said, please, sir, get behind the
He
line.
pulled the whistle.
Yeah.
All aboard! I hear Bart was a mess this morning.
Bart was a mess this morning. Bart's a mess most mornings, but it was especially a mess this morning.
You gotten any of those new trains yet?
Yeah. They're nice.
Yeah.
They're nice.
They're
taller.
They're not from the 70s.
Yeah. They're like 3 inches taller.
Wow.
They smell good for
now.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm really excited about our like 2-month period of nice Bart.
Clean trains.
Yeah.
You should get some markers and
Tag 'em
make
up.
that train your own.
Maybe
Yeah.
just like write some nice messages like, hey,
Yeah.
you're gonna get that raise, or
Yeah.
Some positive, life-affirming graffiti.
yeah.
Yeah.
Have you
That's
seen
what they
those
need.
passive-aggressive Bart ads, Ben?
No.
Like,
think I
hey, your
have, yeah.
backpack looks really cool, but
Oh, yeah.
please, it doesn't need a seat, and put it on the floor if it's a crowded train.
Just
Thanks.
like public shaming you into
Yeah.
transit
Hey man,
etiquette.
some people need it.
Yeah.
Some people do
They
not
totally do.
get it.
That's fair.
As somebody who has been like entering the train with a big old medical boot and a cane, you'd be surprised at the lack of compassion from some people who
No,
are
I would not.
asleep.
Yeah. I would definitely not be surprised at a lack of compassion from people.
From your fellow man.
Yes. Yes, precisely.
So
I took my son on his first BART ride this weekend.
Yeah.
That's fun.
The kid loves trains. He calls them woo-woos. That's
Woo-woo?
That's woo-woo.
yeah, okay.
But he was just so happy and fascinated with the entire thing, and he cried when we had to leave and stuff. But it's just like, I want to get the hell off this thing. I don't want you to touch anything. Don't just keep your hands.
Don't
to
put
yourself.
don't put your mouth on anything, whatever you do.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
But he had a great time.
You should just put whistle tips on your car.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
If he likes to shout woo woo, then you should really meet him halfway on that stuff.
Get it wherever you go.
Yeah, you're in Oklahoma. I'm saying your
Right
boy could be
there.
the next Bub Rub.
Okay.
As all children should
As all
aspire
children, yes,
to
right,
be.
exactly. We should
world-
all try to get there.
The world needs a new Bub Rub.
It's now more than ever.
I don't know
If
what-
not now, when? If not Griffin, who?
Yeah.
What's up with old Bub Rub? I haven't heard much.
He's bubbing and rubbing.
Okay.
Yeah, there was even I think even the like where are they now pieces on Bub Rub are now like really old. He
Okay.
showed up on that. What's that fucking show? The Comedy Central show that fucking sucked.
The Rob Dyrdek
that
one?
one.
No,
Yo
not the
Mama.
Rob Dyrdek one. Though that's a fucking good guess at that description. Tosh.0.
Oh, that guy.
He was on there.
Oh, as like a web redemption. Look, I've watched.
Yeah,
a
I
couple
guess
episodes
so,
of
fucking Tosh.0
Look,
fan.
I'm not a big fan, but I like the soup and I like that format.
Yeah.
And I thought maybe Tosh.0 will
I think that
give it a
format's
shot.
back. Joel McHale's got
Yeah.
a show on Netflix
Yeah, I saw
again.
that.
I tuned in and I'm like, oh, this is that thing again.
What, and like Netflix
Still.
is just doing like a Joel McHale fronted.
Is it all the
Tosh.0
shitty
clone?
Netflix
I think
original?
it's literally
Joel
called the Joel McHale show.
Starring
Fucking
wait,
wow.
yeah. Joel McHale starring Joel McHale.
John Henson was better. He was the guy before.
Skunk Boy?
Yeah. He was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, Bub Rub is like a pre-meme, right?
Yeah.
Before they were called that.
Yeah, back when like people just be like, this thing's everywhere on the internet.
Back when the
It
internet
doesn't
was-
need a
Like
name.
it wouldn't be the whistle meme
the,
now.
the internet was new and shiny.
as
and
opposed to anytime anyone says anything even remotely clever on the internet, people go like, nice meme. It's like, what? No, that's not.
Hey, nice meme, Jeff.
Thanks.
hot meme.
Wait
Yeah.
a meme.
Yeah.
Not liking memes, the ultimate meme.
That's right. That's where I'm at. I'm on the anti-meme team.
Oh no.
Speaking about memes, Damn Daniel came out 2 years ago.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Where were you when
Damn.
that happened?
Daniel?
That's I
Here.
don't know.
Yeah.
Certainly not back at it again in the white vans.
No, remember when fucking that it was that Pusha T when Drug Dealers Anonymous
Yes.
and
Yes.
fucking like Jay-Z like just says damn Daniel and you're just like what the fuck are you doing, man? It's like
You're better
the
than
most
this.
the most instantly dated verse maybe in the history of hip hop. Right then and there, you're like, oh man, Jay-Z, don't.
I'm young and
retired.
hip still.
And then
retired.
he talks about the feds with their all white vans.
Oh.
See, it's
Okay.
What are
see,
those?
There it
see,
is.
see.
Yeah.
Multiple layers.
Multiple layers of sadness in that verse.
Works on multiple levels.
Man,
Ben,
Yo.
correct me if I'm wrong. For the first time in a long time, your foot is free of metal.
Yeah, there's there's nothing in my foot except bone and cartilage
Yeah,
and other
just
junk.
whatever the fuck
good.
is normally
Blood.
in a foot.
Whatever. Only things that are supposed to be in there.
Yeah, I can like touch the tips of my toes.
Yeah.
Stop.
Can I?
Well, gently, very
Okay.
gently. Yeah, it feels good. I got him out Thursday, and now it's just my foot's swollen. It's really big. It's like it looks like a cartoon bear's foot or something. It's like big
Nice.
and puffy. And back on the physical therapy and all sorts of stuff, fun stuff like that. But
PT.
I'm gonna be. I can look forward to March 1st as the first day I can wear a normal shoe
Nice.
for 2
Awesome.
hours.
Only 2 hours. That's all you're getting.
Yes.
Ease you back into it.
But yeah, things are looking good down there.
Nice. When I got out of my boot, my foot was still swollen, but I could wear shoes. So I got a new pair of shoes, and then I realized today, like as the swelling's gone down, the shoe does not fit my foot as it stretched it out so bad.
I bet I'm gonna need a new pair. My doctor was like, "What kind of shoes do you have?" I was like, "Well, I got these and these like some black New Balances." And I was like, "I got an old pair of New Balances and some Doc Martens." And she's like, "Oh, wear the Doc Martens. Those a nice like firm shoe is good for a recovering foot." And I'm like, "I haven't broken them in yet." And she's like, "Okay, don't wear the Doc Martens."
I was gonna recommend some kind of like prime knit, some of these like shoes that are a little more stretchy,
Yeah.
like the fly knit stuff that is all the rage.
You can just wear
with
like
the
slippers.
kids.
Can we just, like,
Yes,
okay.
these are
Do it.
stretchy on
Do
the
it.
top in a way that slippers kind of are.
All right.
And I don't know.
What if I just started wearing like a, I'll wear a
Crocs.
shirt and pants too, but like a robe and Crocs.
What's wrong
Yes.
with Crocs?
Okay. Yeah.
Nothing's wrong with Crocs.
Thank you.
Just make sure you keep the cane.
Yeah.
Complete the
What do you
look.
like to what sort of like flair do you like to plug into the holes on your Crocs?
Oh man, I haven't
Here on
really
the
gotten to
Croccast
that
we
level.
Oh, see, we
Yeah.
want to.
Dude, like there are so many free plugs being given away on this podcast.
Oh man, yeah. No,
Croconomics.
I thought you were talking about some free Croc plugs. I was like, oh hell yeah! Is it like a little duck that I can plug into the hole and be like, look at the little duck on my shoe?
I put little army men sticking up through like the bottom, so like the base is flush with the top of the shoe, and then there's little army men sticking out having like a fight. Like I got the green
rad.
guys on one foot and the
Yeah.
red brown guys on the other foot.
Also
and then
helps
I, like,
with determining which foot they should go on.
yeah, and I
nice.
bang my feet together and pretend they're fighting. It's real fun. It's a good time. I like to have fun with my feet.
Yeah.
Foot fun is the best fun. We all know this.
You like to have foot fun.
Who's asking?
Fun for your feet.
Usually got to pay good money for foot fun in this town.
That's good, clean fun.
Mm-hmm.
Video games. Let's talk about them.
Oh, yeah.
All right, yeah. Hey, if you wanna.
How about Metal Gear Survive?
How about that?
How
Which
about
came
it?
out last night.
Yeah.
Which we got review codes for last Thursday, along with the information that, hey, the servers aren't going to be up until release.
They were basically like pre-order codes, like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
game wouldn't even play on an Xbox. And so,
Yeah.
but I guess like actually by them sending Xbox, they gave us the one platform that worked. Because it sounded like last night PS4 was fucked.
Oh, wow.
And PC is not out for like another 12 hours or
days-
something.
yeah, is it tomorrow?
Yeah, it's
tonight?
technically tonight or tomorrow or whatever it is.
I didn't
do the math.
I
on it,
figured
but,
the servers would be the same across all.
I definitely saw people saying they could not play the PS4 version of the
wow.
game.
Wow, okay.
But I don't know how long that lasted. That was
Yeah,
just kind of around the 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock hour.
I assume that's where that's where the demand was, or that's where the bulk of the players are.
Probably.
If I had to guess.
Hey guys.
Yeah.
What's Metal Gear Survive?
Metal Gear Survive.
When I get through the intro, I will tell you. I don't know that I have
I'll
finished.
tell you what Metal Gear Survive is. Metal Gear Survive is a game that has a title card about 45 minutes in, and then gives you an achievement that says you saw the Metal Gear Survive title screen.
That was my favorite part of the first.
Then there is a cutscene, and on the other end of the cutscene, you get another achievement for you got a soldier now. Even though you were with the soldier prior to the cuts, it's just like boom, like no gameplay between those two. It's a game. That's the game we're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Starting to get a picture here.
Yeah.
I don't know. The stuff I played was similar to the stuff we showed in the video
that
you
unfinished.
came back with.
Yeah, so when I went to play it a few weeks ago, 5-6 weeks ago,
Feels like a fucking year. I don't know. It feels like forever ago.
So they started us with save games at basically once you're at the base, they tell you, hey, go out and hunt and bring some food back and cook it.
Yep.
Like that's where they started us. So I had no
literally
idea about
the kind of the first post prologue.
But I had no idea that there's like 90 minutes of cutscenes and like tiny little.
It's a very Metal Gear thing to do.
Like that
Preview
game
event holding
takes
back the.
Yeah, but I had no idea how much there was. Like that game takes forever to get started.
Well,
That sounds like a lot of
they have
setup.
to set up. They have to set up how this all happened.
Yeah, how this ties into Metal Gear.
Okay, I'll also tell you what kind of game Metal Gear Survive is. Metal Gear Survive feels like a game written by someone who wanted to write fan fiction that justified the wormhole Fulton from MGS5.
This whole game, and so
I don't need to justify.
So
They're like, no, like why can you upgrade to a wormhole? Like, why do you go from balloons to the Fulton?
like,
What are these wormholes?
This whole
ridiculous and
game is
awesome.
about them gaining the ability to see what's on the other side of those wormholes from MGS5.
Okay.
Which is just a like
zombie-filled hell world.
yeah.
Okay.
So we're sending our soldiers through a zombie hell world.
In Vietnam, they first encountered the zombies back in Nam.
Oh.
But they'd known about them for generations. In Nam, they were able to bomb all the zombies and prevent it from happening.
Patriots.
Maybe.
It's
Lolly.
the Wardenclyffe section.
Yes, the Wardenclyffe section. They introduce a lot of stuff in the beginning of this game.
a lot of shit that they made up for this. That then, like, because like Wardenclyffe is like the actual name of the Tesla tower. It's a Wardenclyffe.
Sounds
tower.
familiar. Okay.
So
I believe
there's
you.
that.
Okay. There's a scientist that appears to have some kind of unknown agenda who looks and sounds a lot like Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah.
There's something about a severed arm.
Yes.
Your
Your
character-
character loses. Your character is infected with the zombie virus, but is not a zombie yet. which is why you're perfect to send onto the other side of the wormhole and figure out why the troops they sent over there did not come back.
Yeah. And they're like, hey, if you don't want to become one of those things, you better do what we say. It's weird. Also, Big Boss shows up in the intro.
Okay, I was gonna say, how much Metal Gear is in it?
It's like it's that scene in Phantom Pain where Mother Base at the very beginning is getting blown up.
Yeah.
And they're escaping in the helicopter. It's that scene from your created character's perspective.
Your character was on.
Yes. So you are one of those soldiers, and all those soldiers get sucked up into this big wormhole. So that's the thing, is that you kind of say like, hey, this is an alternate history of the events of Phantom Pain.
Maybe the weirdest thing about this entire intro is that at the very outset, when it's like there are titles popping up and it's saying like so-and-so C where the base is or whatever, it says a pseudo-historical sequence of events.
Why even do that?
What does that mean? Does that mean
you can either create a new story or take the existing story and like show like this what happened an hour after?
What does pseudo-historical mean? Does it mean don't consider this part of the Metal Gear canon?
Right.
Or do?
I don't know.
But also
it's
like
so
Metal
weird.
Gear is also pseudo-historical.
Right.
So
I
what
guess.
the fuck is
I guess.
Is it pseudo-historical to the Metal Gear timeline?
Yeah, it's crazy. I did not expect it to be so story heavy and weird at the beginning.
But I appreciate that. I appreciate that they set it up. But also, it just feels like someone just said like, "What's up with these wormholes?" and then started writing. And then I'm going to tell everyone what's up with these wormholes. Dite, it's a land on the other side of the wormhole, and there are zombies there with crystal heads. And
when you break up crystal heads, you get Kuban energy.
Kuban energy. I don't know. We've been harvesting this Kuban energy for decades. The section, the Wardenclyffe section. It's a whole. They're on Earth, regular Earth, and they've been knowing about this for years. And we got to get in there and figure it out. And so the thing is they're worried that all these zombies are going to come over in force after and the wormhole that opened and sucked up Mother Base gave them the coordinates of where all these zombies are coming from, so they're able to start sending people through.
Okay.
So kind of after the events of the last game,
they only have enough energy to
send one person,
and it's you.
And you get there, and you need somebody's clothes, boots, motorcycle, and then
set up a fence or something, right?
Yeah, and then you break all that stuff down and craft a fence, and then poke people
exactly
that are standing on the other side of the fence.
There is some dumb, fun Metal Gear kind of minutia in this that I appreciate. Like you name your character, and then you see it on a list of like deceased Mother Base soldiers, and it's all like, you know, Bloody Raven and like Ferocious Rat, and then your name.
So what did you name your character?
Ostrich.
So they don't,
because they don't tell you that that's how it's going to be used. They don't give you any hint as to what the format of your name should look like.
So you see like Brian Smith,
right?
Yeah.
So I just put in my first name because I didn't care, and then I saw that and I was like, no, fuck that, and I quit the game and deleted my save and started over.
So I wrote Solid Snake.
Nice.
So
okay.
You just get to that list and just scrolling over it. So, and I entered that and then immediately forgot that I had entered that. So then when it's scrolling through this list of names and you see Solid Snake and I'm like, oh fuck. Oh right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a weird
I'm really surprised
thing.
there's that much setup.
There's more to it than I expected.
The Unfinished that we saw, like it was not story heavy at all.
Yeah,
like,
there was a little bit
of gameplay, and your character seems extremely generic.
It is a created character.
Right.
Like, it's actually got a pretty good character creator.
It's not bad.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't know. And then it kind of sets you loose in this world. Is like, go poke a sheep to get meat, and then cook the meat, and then get dirty water, and then someday you'll be able to upgrade your campfire to make the dirty water into clean water.
Okay.
So in the 2 hours I played of the story at that event, I never found the means to make clean water. Yeah. So I was just vomiting everywhere I went constantly. It was just really
Sounds pretty good, actually.
I don't know. So then they start sending you out on missions to find memory boards. Yeah. That are so they sent over a research team that has vanished, and so you're kind of picking up from the pieces of like, oh, their base is fucking deserted and all fucked up. What the fuck happened here? And so you're kind of like getting out of the world, finding their forward bases that have computers in them, downloading the data and taking it back to your base to figure out what the fuck happened. Mm-hmm. And that's as far as I've gotten. Okay. I've not really pieced together what has happened or anything like that. You have another guy. There are achievements in the game that imply that you will have like 30 people in that base at some point.
Yeah, the early stuff I saw at that event made it seem like you were going to end up building defenses around your base to hold off.
Right. So and then there's achievements for like auto turret kills and stuff. So I imagine at some point you are building that area up. To be a real base again.
Yeah, it'll go to like pull out a full-on overhead view where you can just like place structures around the perimeter and stuff. Like,
do you have to man those? Like,
I don't know. I wasn't
like the only structures I can build so far are like sandbags and fences. So no, but
so not that far.
And there's a guy with you also. Like that's the achievement you get for like you've got a soldier on your team.
You got a
It's
guy.
like, yeah. But
Yeah.
he's hurt and just sits there in the base and doesn't do shit so
I,
far.
I saw stuff at that event that implied you would be recruiting more people into that base.
I don't know.
So we should take the survive bit,
Yes.
like literally.
Yes,
like
that was
it's survival.
Yeah,
game,
like I imagine someone who I don't know. This person must exist. I don't know what quantities they're in, but like someone who has played a fair amount of Metal Gear, but doesn't really like follow gaming news, and just sees there's a new Metal Gear out. They're gonna get this and be like, "Fucking what the fuck?
yeah.
This is not at all
I don't know.
a Metal
I mean-
Gear
I
game.
mean-
in gameplay structure.
I honestly like the beginning of the game is wordy enough and convoluted enough and like pseudo historical enough that like if you didn't follow like Kojima that much, you might actually play this and just go like, yeah, this is a Metal Gear game. I don't know.
I guess
I don't know
we'll see
how
I
where
feel
it
like
goes,
5
but-
was a pretty sizable departure from the previous
Sure.
Metal Gear games too. So maybe at this point, this person's just like, I don't know what the fuck a Metal Gear is.
Well, it's also gone from I don't know. Like, you know, say what you will about Phantom Pain's story stuff, but there are big ass cutscenes in that game that you watch and go, wow. Put that on the box. And this is like a lot of dialogue on screen. type
like,
stuff.
like the
It's
biggest
it's less overblown.
Yeah, the biggest moment of exposition in the intro is like 10 minutes of talking with just a still shot of like a security camera footage that doesn't really move. Like it's very bare bones. Now, there are some cutscenes, but
Yes, there are. But yeah, I don't know. It feels like budget in some ways. It feels like it feels like I would like to see someone do like the A/B on credited people in Phantom Pain that are still credited
That are
in
still,
sure.
this game.
Sure.
I'd be curious to know how many people stuck around.
I'm sure somebody will do that comparison. I would like to know that too.
But it definitely doesn't feel like the same thing.
In regard to budget, though, this is like $40.
It's $40,
right?
yeah.
so
$40
it's-
bucks. I saw a bunch of like microtransaction stuff, like you can buy in-game currency.
Yep.
But it's
Well, I don't think that's
just
up yet, but
boosters.
there's something called SV coins.
right.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That you can.
I'm not sure how those work exactly. I didn't get a chance to really.
Okay.
You're saying SV hasn't come to?
No, SV has not
not
come
yet.
to the
Not
game
yet.
yet. Yeah.
It's mostly like boosters, XP doublers, stuff like that you're paying for.
Okay.
No loot boxes, they said. But I really want to play more of it. Like I came out of that event.
I don't
know if impressed is the right word, but I came out of it like wanting to keep going.
I don't know that
lot.
I don't. Well, I don't know. I guess I'm very early on, but my first impressions of it are, man, this is not a good game. But I kind of want to see more of it.
I need to know
because
what
it
this
is
is.
such a fascinating
Yeah.
thing. And then you wrap it up in like the kind of bullshit around the Metal Gear franchise and Kojima's departure and all the fucking shit that went down there. You're like, I just kind of want to know.
Yeah, I have to see how this thing plays out at this point, based on all that stuff. But also just the loop of like finding new recipes and getting parts and building stuff and upgrading your person is kind of satisfying.
Maybe, yeah.
Even though it plays really
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
And you guys haven't unlocked the multiplayer yet, but we saw some of that in the
They had
unfinished and some of
betas
the
and
betas.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Like it's, I feel like there's a lot riding on this game in a lot of ways, right? Where it's like, okay, some of this ends up dictating kind of what Konami can do with Metal Gear going forward, and like how viable Konami is as a game publisher going forward. I think, you know, like, and they sent this thing out like with incredibly little fanfare. Like they ran their couple of betas and stuff, but this doesn't feel like a Metal Gear release, I'll say.
Yeah.
It feels like it in a way that you start to wonder, like, oh, do they know? Or are they looking at this and going like, oh, we better charge $40 for this because fuck, dude.
Well, I think they seem realistic about what it is in terms
Right.
of it, in terms of it
Yeah.
being an offshoot, like a side thing, not like this is not the gala next chapter in the Metal Gear saga.
Which, like, I guess is good. Like, maybe that's good and bad, right?
Yeah.
Like you would expect them to try to capitalize on the name fully and be like, here it is, the next Metal Gear, and try to put one over on people. I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
I don't feel like they're misrepresenting it, and I mean,
yes, it feels like a relatively quiet release,
Yeah.
which probably A means something and B is probably the right way to go.
yeah,
Uh,
sure. I had a hard time.
I don't know.
I had a hard time putting my finger on this until some people in comments on our video from a while back kind of clarified this for me, that it's kind of like a Dead Rising game in how janky it is.
Yes,
Like just in the way the movement
Sure.
works,
Yeah.
and just
Yeah.
the general look and feel of it. Like,
Right.
things take a long time to do. A lot of slow animations, like a lot of clunky looking stuff. Like you're gonna have to put up with some clunk, basically.
Right.
In a Metal Gear game.
Yeah.
But normally you're putting up with that clunk because like there's a lot of
Character
over the top
and
character story stuff.
So there's just enough of that here, and B, it's trying hard enough to be like Metal Gear that I really want to see the rest of it.
I want to see them make a fake Metal Gear
Yes,
game.
that's
Like,
exactly what I mean.
That is what it feels like.
Yeah.
Like I said, it feels like fan fiction.
Like a facsimile of a Kojima
It's like
authored
a vegan Metal Gear game.
Yeah.
It's like this is as close as we could make it to the original.
Like when that I think it was when that the mysterious scientist guy who was kind of also your XO over the radio or whatever, like when he said, hey, refer to me as good luck. Like that was the moment for me where I was like, okay, they're really trying to make this like a Metal Gear game.
Yeah.
You could call me good luck.
But somehow cornier. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
exactly.
fucking weird.
Yeah,
it's a bizarre thing.
Yeah. But I am weirdly super excited to keep playing the story mode and see where it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see what because whatever, there have been Metal Gear games made in the past that were not Kojima's first choice for a thing to be made.
Sure.
Your Snake's Revenges of the world and some of these ports and some of this other stuff.
But at that point he was still in the company and still had some influence.
Right.
Now they can do whatever they want.
Right. And what do they want to do?
They will do whatever they want.
Like they can make Big Boss do whatever they feel like in a cutscene.
No.
And that's now part of Metal Gear.
And we got Keith Sutherland to make sure of it.
Right. In this game, you get to shit on the horse.
Do it.
Or the horse says do it. That's what I'll do it. Like it's real.
You got to put some peanut butter in his mouth
you have
first.
to buy peanut butter with your SV points.
You have to craft it first.
You have to get nuts.
Go harvest these peanuts.
Yeah.
Costs
Boil them.
100 Kuban
Empty jar.
Yeah.
Peanut butter, dirty.
I am somewhat excited about making my rusty pipe into a +1 rusty pipe. I don't know why.
Dead Rising was a good game in spite of it being like fucked up and weird too.
Yeah.
Like there's a lane for this game.
Yeah, totally.
But it's such not the Metal Gear lane.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, but like I said, it's fascinating. Like there are aspects of this game's existence that like trouble me in a weird way, but also I want to see this unfold like from this. Yeah, I want to see this unfold.
Yeah.
I want to see like what is Konami? Who is Konami?
Sure. What's it going to be?
Yeah. And this is kind of the first look at that because obviously like the only other thing they're like whatever, they put Bomberman out on the Switch.
That was great.
But it's like real winner, real fucking barn burner.
They still got soccer.
And then it's soccer.
Yeah.
Right? And it's been soccer and Metal Gear here for a little bit.
And health clubs.
And whatever other business interests Konami might be into.
Insurance, I believe.
Yeah. And do you mean in the like it'd sure be a shame if someone smashed up your nice pachinko parlor kind of insurance? Or so yeah, I don't know. I'm it's fascinating. It's like fucking weird. I don't know. I'm
into it. I am gonna play it.
Yeah, let's go.
As much as I can between now and whenever we do stuff with it, I am gonna play it.
Yeah, I will certainly play more of it.
I really wish we'd had more time with it before.
Yes, but they did not provide us with early access to it, so
it's a bummer. But yeah, we'll keep our eyes open.
I know Dan is plowing through some of it right now.
Yeah,
and seems to be maybe a little baffled with it.
It's a baffling product.
I'm actually mega curious what his opinion is going to be on it based on his.
I mean, he didn't like Metal Gear Rising. I can already tell you what his opinion is going to be on it.
Yeah. That's kind of what I mean, though. Like, given his like weird, hyper-specific needs for a Metal Gear game.
Yeah, like this doesn't meet them at all because it doesn't say Hideo Kojima on the box. Yeah. Like I think that's the long and short of it for a guy like Dan.
Speaking of Metal Gear Rising, I bought a 360 copy of that for $1 in a Goodwill.
Damn,
2 days ago.
Nice.
Damn,
I was standing there in the Goodwill, and there was a stack of there was a copy of Oblivion.
Okay.
Dragon Age 2.
Yep.
Several like Lego Batman type games.
Cool.
I was like, and also it said like all video games $1.99.
Damn.
And then I saw the copy of Metal Gear Rising, and I whipped out my phone, and sure enough, that thing is now backwards compatible.
Oh, nice.
And then they,
cool.
for whatever reason, undercharged us when we bought our stuff.
They're like, hey, get this garbage out of here.
I am kind of excited to maybe finally play Metal Gear Rising for $1. on the
you haven't played
Xbox
it at
One.
all.
No, I've never played it.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
I've
the
played parts
the
of
PC version of that is
Yeah.
fine.
It's
Also,
really good port, yeah.
I mean, I'm saying I will play it.
yes,
It remains to be seen.
that's
But-
a good fucking video
but
game.
should play Metal
yes,
Gear or
I know enough
Agreed.
about it that I've been
That's a
saying for years.
goddamn good fucking video game.
Thank you.
There,
Thank you.
ooh, it has some. Remember that little boy in the sewers and that accent?
There's some dumb shit in that
there's some
game.
real dumb shit. He's in disguise
that's
with
the-
a sombrero.
That's the thing. Like I
That's
know
great.
I know all about Armstrong, and I know
Yeah.
probably more or less the basic story arc through osmosis over
Yeah.
the years, but I
Yeah.
still want to see all the dumb shit for myself.
Oh, yeah.
It's
And
fun.
and I think it'll be worth the time.
It's bad. It's bad in the right ways, I guess I would say,
Okay.
for the most part. Sure, for the most part,
Metal
Got a
Gear.
video up on the site if you want to check it
and
out.
also
That's
like
true.
fun to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
It's like a platinum game for everybody. It's like,
Okay.
you can finish this. It's not, you don't need to.
You can learn to counter if you want, but
You can. I mean, you can mash your way through it, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's actually fun stuff when you're really on your shit and parrying and doing all the stuff right. Like
Mhm.
it feels
pretty good.
It feels really good.
Yeah.
Metal Gear, huh? Who would have thought?
Another one.
30 minutes, 20 minutes of Metal Gear talk.
It's not the 30 minute. Like I could talk to you about Metal Gear for 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's
any
the easy
fucking day of
part.
the week.
Fair.
It's the
talking about this particular.
what happens from here
Yeah.
with that thing when it's suddenly like because it's like I got a daily login bonus of 5 empty bottles. It's like
No.
when they start saying like, hey, look, we know you want an eye patch. We're not idiots. So it's $9 for this sweet eye patch to put on your character that we know you named it Solid Snake, you dumbass, you fucking idiot. I made it. It's a lady. Because it's an alternate history. What if it was a lady Solid
what?
Snake in the mid
Okay.
70s? I'm like, fucking
Okay.
yeah, man.
Okay. My girlfriend was watching me play it last night, and when I restarted to rename my character, she came up with Ruthless KV, which
Okay.
That's pretty good.
I'm pretty excited about.
Yeah,
So,
it's pretty all right.
anybody play anything that's not Metal Gear?
Yeah, a little bit. More Monster Hunter, of course,
Okay.
but we don't need to talk about that.
Well, you got that Ryu.
Yeah, I got that Ryu.
You got that Ryu?
Yeah.
That shit sucks.
That's it. It's gross. Like it's $4 for
A fireball.
the emotes.
Right.
each.
What?
Yeah, the emotes.
There are two
themselves
emotes.
Are separate.
It's Fireball and Dragon Punch. Each one $4.
Yeah.
And
I
then
thought-
$2 of Street Fighter stickers.
I thought
could-
that I would get that
Oh.
stuff if I completed the in-game quests to get the Ryu armor.
Because you can get all the Ryu get up for
Yeah.
free by
And
by a fair amount of grinding, to be fair. Like,
Yeah,
you
you've
have
got
to
to give. You need like 7 tickets. If you're not, on point and doing really well, that means you have to go through that mission 7 times.
Which the mission is not especially
It's not
difficult.
super tough.
It's
It's
just
kind of
more
it's kind of fun. 'Cause
time-consuming.
it's like this huge Bareth. It's like
I'm doing it in
2-3
about
times.
17 minutes now.
Okay.
Somebody on Twitter, I think it was on Twitter, said that thing is balanced around at least 2 people.
Yeah,
and it
that's
doesn't-
what
It's
the
a
arena
maximum of
stuff.
2.
Okay, so I think they expected you to go in there with a friend to make
Right.
it faster.
Yes, and maybe I should do that for my final 3 runs, but I've already done
Yeah.
that thing 4 fucking times, and I don't even know why I'm doing. It's not like the armor is fucking good.
It's not great. It's good
hmm.
for like early level stuff, but whatever. It's pretty generic. But yeah, I thought I would get that stuff like included with it. But no, the emotes $4 a piece.
you get the
There's a
look for
sticker
free,
set. Yeah,
but they make you
So
pay
you can
for
spend
the thing you
$10
want.
to get 2 emotes and some stickers.
I
Yeah,
mean-
if you want all the Street Fighter themed stuff in that
Yep.
game, not even the Ryu armor, you would have
Capcom.
to. So it's like I don't have a problem with them selling emotes.
No.
But $4 fucking
Give me an
dollars for a
emote bundle.
single one.
Give
like,
me an
what
emote
is
bundle.
that?
$5 for 3 emotes.
Yeah, if it was $5 for like both moves
For
and
the Street
stickers,
Fighter pack or
yeah,
something.
that
Like
I could totally see.
yeah,
that's a little more. Yeah.
But,
understandable.
yeah.
I mean,
This
granted,
is-
these are pretty cool emotes.
To be fair, the fireball
he throws a fireball,
the fireball
and it actually
travels.
does damage.
The fireball travels a pretty long way, which
I've-
I was impressed by.
I've seen runs where everybody's in Ryu armor and they kill a Jagras with just
everybody throwing fireballs at the Jagras. That
Yep,
sounds like
and
kinda,
uppercuts.
Sounds
It's
kind of
ridiculous.
okay.
But one time, Monster Hunter traditionally does not have really high priced DLC. If they do charge for it at all,
Yeah, they usually do a lot of free stuff, right?
ton of free stuff.
Yeah.
So it's not a good look.
But like the gameplay relevant stuff is still free, so this
Yeah.
is largely. I mean, even if those emotes do technically hit, like it's not meant to be a weapon.
no,
Like
not at all.
I don't have a problem with them directly selling cosmetics. I just think the pricing on
Yeah,
this
same.
is fucking terrible.
Yeah, I do too.
But the bummer
And
is
then the quest itself of like, hey, run this thing multiple times. Like it's a boring fight.
Yeah, doing
that sucks that you have to do that, and that it's giving you armor that's you're not gonna use that armor.
I'm not gonna use it. Like
You could, but
yeah.
like you've got way better armor.
Yeah, at this point, I do.
And you can't
yeah.
like slot armor like in other games where you can
Yeah, it's not like with this one. It's like an all or nothing kind of set. So you can't just have like Ryu's headband on when you're wearing the other armor or anything like that. So.
See, that to me is a bigger
there's
bummer.
there's not like cosmetic slots for just. I mean, unless it's something that unlocks later. Previous games had that where it's like, hey, here's your this armor doesn't have stats,
where
but
you
it's
can
but
feed
here's
it into it.
way later. Way later.
Okay.
Way later.
So theoretically,
like, I can't even do that now. 100 hours plus in, and I still can't do that.
do we know if that's in world? If like here's a separate like you can equip this armor in this cosmetic slot that makes you look like Ryu, but you still have the stats of your real armor?
I think that's how augmenting works. I'm not quite well versed on.
Okay.
it.
That's the thing. Like if you get to a point where it's like eventually like, hey, if you want to look like
yeah.
Ryu, you can, but you still have the stats of your real armor. It's fine.
Better.
That's fine. But like, yeah, like run this kind of boring quest as many as many as 7 times.
Right.
Less if you're good. So for me, 7 times.
It was 7 times for me, for sure.
That's a
Yeah,
it's a boring thing to do.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna bother.
And then on like a time limit, also like, hey, get it done by March 1st. Like fucking, what does this work? Like fucking, come on.
Like I already ran right up to the deadline on that Horizon Palico set.
Mhm.
Like the night before, I had to stay up late.
I've got question mark Rathian prints to find. I can't fucking spend all my fucking monster hunting time fucking around in the arena.
I've actually
getting
been
jack shit out of
I
it.
have been fucking around in the arena an awful lot. There's a couple armor sets that you can only get from doing that arena stuff and getting like the coins. Unfortunately, it's not helping my hunter rank at all. I'm in a weird rut right now, where it's like, I beat this Kieran quest, I bypassed the soft cap of like hunter rank 29. I'm in like hunter rank 30 now, but nothing new is going to pop for me until I hit hunter rank 49. So I'm in, like, I don't know what to do. Like, I have no new quests.
The real destiny starts now.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, there's going to be it's going to be a grind.
A lot of grind
to get through that stuff. But I'm still super enjoying playing it. But yeah, it's weird that there's not a lot of hand holding in between that really awkward
those tiers
place. Yeah, that's a shame. But yeah, I've had other stuff to play. Slay the Spire I picked up because I am actually kind of into collectible card games, but they're a little intimidating sometimes. They're a time sink, and they can be a money sink if there's a bunch of microtransactions involved. But this is an early access game that's more like a roguelike CCG. So you've got like you're slaying the spire, right? You're climbing the tower. There's 3 different bosses or like maps or whatever. And they give you, a set number of cards, for each class that you pick. Standard like, defend or, attack stuff and a few skills thrown in. But as you, each fight that you go through, you will get like a new card or something like that, new skill. And it's, broken up with, events, that you can, participate in or get new relics that will enhance other cards or other powers or all kinds of shit, but they're sprinkling that stuff in with each fight, so it's not too daunting at first. So as you're going up the spire, you're kind of customizing your deck as you go, or even taking out cards to kind of trim out the shit that you don't want anymore.
Is there any permanent deck, or is there like a totally new hand every time you start a new run?
So yeah, the base set seems to be finite, unless you've gotten up to the boss in the previous run, then you can get some extra stuff. Anyway, so yeah, you start off with a predetermined deck and just kind of work your way from there.
What is this for?
This is on PC.
Yeah, that thing's been like at the top of the Steam charts for a while.
I can see why.
I was curious. I was curious why people like it so much, but then I saw cards and I was like, oh.
Yeah. But it's not like you're like unlocking cards and like other roguelites. You unlock the ability to like maybe get this during the run or something like that. But it's nothing that I have to like really micromanage. But it seems really tight and really solid. And it seems like it's going to be easy to just like, go through a run and I'm good. But the unfortunate thing so far is that you can't like resume a run as far as I can tell. And I'm spending like 20, 30 minutes on a run. So that's kind of a bummer. I wish I could just, hop in and pick it up again later on. But no, it's a really solid game, and I can see why people are super into it.
Cool.
It's a lot of fun. Also, Mount Your Friends.
Yeah.
We played a little bit of that on
Mount Your Friends
UPF.
3D.
Yeah, 3D. It's all kinds of textures and shapes now and stuff. Oh man.
Shapes, yes.
We're big fans of the Mount Your Friends series, the 2D version. This is the 3D one where you only control the arms this time, no legs. You're meant to play it with a mouse, like left click, right click to control those two hands, but you can use a controller, kind of, sort of. That hasn't been implemented. Well, at the time that we played it, I should say, it wasn't implemented very well.
Yeah, is that thing for sale anywhere?
Not yet. No,
okay,
it's
so
going to
we
be
have a very advanced version.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So based on some of the issues that we had with it, trying to pass a controller, they've made a bunch of enhancements since then. So I played a bunch last night by myself, and it seems like all the issues that we had, where it was like kind of unclear where things were sticking. It's in this weird 3D space, and you can't really.
It's like when you're kind of moving on the Z plane.
Yeah, judging the depth
of like, am I touching the thing that I want to grab?
Sure.
Because like for people who haven't seen it, like you're trying to climb this tower of men, this very unwieldy tower, and you kind of need to get your hands close, if not directly in contact with these men, to climb up them as you go
and become part of the tower.
Yes, and become part of the tower when you get to the top, when the camera is at a certain perspective and you're reaching a certain way, it gets really hard to see where you are. If you're grabbing on, so it's easy to fall off the tower because you're like, oh, I thought I was close enough to grab it, but I was not.
Yeah, I don't want to grouse too much. I know they're still working on it.
Yeah.
There's definitely spots where you like keep grabbing for a dude, and you feel like you should be able to grab him.
From what I played last night, like they spell that out, or they make it a little more clear. Yeah. They've got arrows pointing to what exactly your hand wants to grab onto, and you can judge depth.
Cool.
Way better. So
Good.
Yeah, it seems like it's on the right track. Cool. I kind of miss having the 4 limbs for sure. Like it's a little strange just having the 2, I guess, but. All the other goofy trappings are there.
It does have a little bit of a different feel than the 2D one.
Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to playing more of that.
I like that you can just hook up a webcam now and take a picture of your face instead of like having to import images and stuff.
Yes, my face.
Yes, I want your face in there.
Mm-hmm.
There is a like a filter in there that you can turn on or off, so you can actually download images when you play online. You might want to keep that off or on if you're into that.
I want it unfiltered. I want it all.
But I think that's out on the 23rd or something like that. Coming out this week.
The thing has a dong toggle, doesn't it?
It does.
Didn't I see that in there?
You can toggle them on or all the way on. Are those the options?
Yes.
On or extreme.
Yeah, I don't remember a dong toggle.
Kind of John Cena mode.
I hope there's one. But what's the subtitle to it? A hard man is good to climb.
Yes. Yes.
That's pretty good.
Yep.
Pretty good. But that's super fun. I'm looking forward to playing more of that. Like multiplayer with you guys. We'll have a video up this week.
Cool. Ben, what have you been playing?
I have been pretty deep in a Dragon Ball fighter's hole.
No way.
I've been getting into it in a way that I have not gotten into a fighting game since Street Fighter 4.
Wow. You labbing it up?
Yeah. So
awesome.
I'm kind of at the point where I'm comfortable with all my characters individually. I'm comfortable on like if I get a stray hit, I know like okay, I can get a little bit of damage off of this. I can do a little bit of a combo here, or like if I get a good solid hit, I can start doing 50, 60% reliably.
How's your neutral game? Like, how do you feel about that?
So that's the part that probably needs the most work. There's still a lot of stuff like reacting to dragon rushes, reacting to instant transmission and like waiting to call out hard tags.
Yep.
There's a lot of stuff in both the Marvel and the Arxis style of games that I need a lot of adjusting to. But I think overall, I'm getting a lot better. I'm starting to win more online against decent people rather than, the people I was winning against before.
Right.
And I've gotten into like the habit of watching some streams for it, watching some tournaments. It was funny. I watched Level Up Live has a weekly Wednesday night fights. They've been doing it since Street Fighter 4, maybe even before then, but that's when I kind of cued into it. It's like a weekly in LA. And it was the first big one for Dragon Ball, and there was a big Dragon Ball tournament that weekend. So there was a lot of people in town just playing Dragon Ball. And it's funny because the top 4 was in winners and losers each had one Guilty Gear player and one Marvel player.
Oh, wow.
So it's like a meeting of these two games represented by the people who play them. But I saw and I watched the big tournament on Saturday, and there were even like Reynald, who was the KOF champion a couple years ago, was like doing really well. It's like a lot of people have been talking about how this game is kind of bringing all aspects of the fighting game community together, but it's really cool to see it visualized with all these players who I recognize from other games, like meeting and just nerding out about Dragon Ball.
Yeah, seriously. So that's kind of the glue that seems to like bring everyone together for sure. But then, this engine just like seems to have hooks for everybody.
Yeah,
for a lot of different people. Marvel or KOF or
And it's funny,
whatever.
like watching the commentators point out, like, oh, he did this really well because he's a Marvel player.
Right.
Or, like look at this mix up, like he did really well versus like this guy's doing these perfect instant air dashes, and it's definitely. And I follow some people on Twitter from various games, and it's funny seeing them like talk about what they need to focus on, because it is kind of like, it's not like any other fighting game before it in a way. I mean, it's like a lot of different fighting games.
Right.
Definitely,
They've brought together a lot of styles from other stuff, but it's not, like the skills don't translate 100%.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it seems like there's still a really healthy scene there. I know there was a bit of talk about the game had a pretty precipitous drop off like a month or so after launch. They were down like 80% on Steam from peak active players. But
bear in mind that number was huge.
Yes,
though,
that number was. It was still. The video said it, so don't get mad at me. But there were still over 9,000 people playing the PC version of it.
I'll take it.
A couple months in, which was still like higher than any other fighting game.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for Evo. They just opened registration for that, so we'll see. There'll be big tournaments before then, but it's really nice seeing people get really excited about a fighting game again, and personally getting really back into it.
How do you feel the matchmaking's been working out for you, like skill level wise?
Oh, skill level wise is weird. I've seen some other people complain about this too, but so basically, I could be wrong about this, but what I've gathered about matchmaking is when you win or lose, you get points. I forget what they call the points, but those points give you medals, and those are the little medals you see at the bottom of your player card. Yeah. And that's the primary matchmaking tool, from what I understand. So you get a lot of scenarios where, like, I have a friend who's really good at the game, and he's like 25-1 in ranked play, and he's going up against people who are like 134 and 111 just because they've lost enough that they've ranked up. So I feel like once you kind of cross that big hump of just like, here's a lot of people who have played a lot of matches but aren't necessarily great, you will start hitting people more in your skill level.
Okay.
I lost a lot of matches at the beginning, so I'm kind of still in that buffer zone of it could be some really good people who are just now entering ranked, right? Like, I was like, okay, I've spent enough time in the lab, I'm ready with my combos, I'm going to enter ranked and kick ass, versus just people who are grinding it out like me. I feel like matchmaking, I've gotten a better understanding of how to find matches quicker. When I enter a lobby, you can tell.
What's your flow?
So you can kind of tell. At this point, I think they've fixed ring and arena matches a little bit, where if you enter a lobby and you see a lot of ring matches happening, just go and hop into one of those ring matches. Odds are it's going to work.
Okay.
Same like with an arena match. If you see a bunch of people in that arena there, that's your best bet. Otherwise, I just hop into training mode and search for a match and find one every 2 to 3 minutes.
Yeah, I've seen it far less too. Like I said, I've watched a bunch of streams, and people are just like, they're doing the same thing. They're just queuing up. They'll go into training mode, and it's maybe like 30 seconds to a minute.
Yeah, I've definitely had like
fire.
During prime times that can get that low. Yeah,
so that's cool. Okay,
I'm gonna skip ahead to a news story.
Yeah.
Since we're talking about Dragon Ball, they announced their first DLC characters.
That's right,
Bardock and Broly.
Woo!
Lord Goku. Your thoughts?
Broly's a huge motherfucker.
Yeah, he's real big.
Yeah.
huge.
They finally have a third big body for Team Big Bodies, which
Yeah.
I'm happy about.
I'm just gonna.
So you think he's going to be a grappler type, right?
I bet he'll have a grapple.
Yeah.
I watched one of those movies, so I don't really remember a lot about his like moves as a fighter.
Right.
But if
I
he's,
seem to
if
remember
he's
him
that
having
big,
grabs.
Oh,
in
wow,
the
that
previous
is
games
a-
that he's been in.
That is a muscled individual.
yeah, his chest is just like the size of Goku, pretty much.
Or if
His
he's going to be
name-
like an Abigail style, like Street Fighter
Yeah.
5, just like absolutely huge, not necessarily
I'd be
a
happy
grappler.
with that.
That'd be.
I'm gonna
pretty
say, knowing nothing about him, his name sucks.
Yeah.
He sounds like he really sucks.
He
You don't
is
really
the-
need to know about him,
Okay.
actually.
All right,
It
good.
doesn't really matter.
Yeah, without getting into the specifics, he is like the era of Dragon Ball Z that is very much the like new metal, shitty, like way too hot topic,
Linkin
Okay.
Park.
like
Okay,
extreme.
so-
He's
so-
the most extreme.
Is he like a walking AMV?
yeah.
Kinda.
Okay.
Yeah.
He represents a part. He was in several movies like during Z, and he kind of represents that like. It's a little too much.
His nipples always bothered me.
Hmm.
It's just that they were giant
They're too
ovals.
perfect.
Exactly. They were just giant ovals and
Oh,
the same
man.
color as. Never
I-
mind.
I forgot to talk about the nipples in Mount Your Friends. They're majestic. They're so pronounced.
Those are
and-
good ones.
You need something to
those
grab onto when you're trying
Yeah,
to
it's
climb.
Probably
that.
cold out
Guys,
there.
you
They're not
need-
wearing any
I could
clothes.
Yeah.
swing at those things.
Reference point.
All right, sorry to derail.
No, that was very
I
important.
I
No.
needed to, bring that out.
And then Bardock, I don't
I-
give a shit about
I
Bardock.
understand.
What?
I understand he's Goku's father.
It's Goku's dad, Ben.
Yeah, but he's like a dick, and he's just like,
All right.
We need to know where Goku got his parenting skills from.
yeah.
Apparently
I'm really
this guy, right?
It
I'm-
makes sense.
So these line up with a leak that had been
Leaked.
data mined.
Leaked.
And in there, I'm really surprised they didn't lead with regular Goku. I'm really surprised that they're waiting
Wait.
on
There's no straight up Goku in the game.
nope, black hair, regular ass Goku.
What?
Not in the game, but
Uh.
apparently coming as DLC.
Okay.
I'm surprised in some way that that's not like something that Goku does over the course of a match. That's not something that they
Right, like he
felt
turns Super Saiyan.
should be
If
incorporated
you use
into
3 meter, you
yeah,
go Super
exactly. Or you
Saiyan.
just go Super Saiyan in the supers or something like
Yeah.
that. Or when he's doing certain attacks, like I don't know how quickly he changes back and forth. How quickly the real Goku can change back and forth. But yeah, I would have assumed that would have been
'Cause
something
that's
that
usually
that
in
popped.
older fighting
Yeah.
games. That's how they kind of
Yeah.
handled
That
it.
sounds
in, like,
interesting, but that
Budokai
doesn't.
and-
Yeah, it may
I'm
not
not
be
sure-
like a great game, but like
Yeah.
it's a different game at that point.
Yeah.
Like if
Yeah.
you're saying like, oh well, you're gonna level up to Super Saiyan and then whatever fucking SS Super Saiyan
SSGSS.
Like I'll
Super
bet you
Saiyan.
that was talked about.
There's a
in,
new
design
one.
meetings and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
And they're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"Nah,
Have you
maybe
seen
that's
the-
not that
What is
fun."
it? Perfect
Ultra
Ultra
Instinct.
Instinct. They got white hair.
Yeah.
Whoa.
He got like a white outline.
Huh.
Oh my
Goku just
God.
moves.
He just
He doesn't think. He just moves.
just goes.
Just goes with his instinct.
That's just
Yeah.
it's weirdly criminal to have 4 characters with Goku in the because
Yeah, I was watching a stream and a dude made top 8 of the big tournament, and his team was the 3 Gokus.
yeah.
And it just was like they were talking about his team, and they're like, "It's really good. He's got Goku, which is at worst a mid-tier character with 2 really good beam assists, and he's just
Yeah.
like laying down pressure and stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Dragon
It's
Ball
funny,
is
but it's stupid.
is stupid in like a really endearing way.
Yeah. I watched some original Dragon Ball yesterday. It's very Looney Tunesy. In the
Yeah,
first
that's
episode,
goofy.
there's
Yeah.
a saber-toothed tiger chasing around baby Gohan, and he jumps over a cliff, and the tiger runs off the cliff, and then does the like, and then his eyes like go out on springs, and then he falls, and it goes like.
Original Dragon Ball is definitely a different fucking thing.
Yeah.
For sure.
What is
It's
that, like
way goofier
30
than I
or
remember
40
it.
years old now? Like,
Oh my God,
I want to say
really?
It was
30.
80s.
That old?
Yeah.
I was listening to
It was like 84
Yeah, I
originally
guess
or
so.
something?
Yeah. We watched it mostly in English, but we were like, let's just dip into the Japanese audio and see what it sounds. And it sounds like a 70s movie. Like the
Oh,
audio sounds like it's being
Oh.
recorded from over here,
Little
and just
crackly.
like yeah,
Hmm.
Dragon Ball.
A lot of Original Dragon Ball weirdly lewd.
oh yeah.
A
Yeah.
lot of nudity, right?
Yeah.
I came to the realization that Bulma was there. The whole reason the show kicks off, the whole reason the whole Dragon Ball universe kicks off is because Bulma wanted to get the 7 Dragon Balls so she can wish for a perfect boyfriend.
Oh, okay.
So she, in a way, saved the world. She
Snowball.
brought Goku
Yeah.
into society. just because she was horny, she said she saved the universe.
It's a lesson to be learned there.
Yeah.
Motivates a lot of people.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, what do you say we ruminate on that lesson for a few minutes as we take a break?
Sounds good.
Sounds
All
good.
right. Jeff, I have not been able to ignore the tremendously large thermos that you brought in today.
Yeah, I'm glad you
this
said
is-
something,
That
Brad.
thing is huge.
It's not. I mean, it's not that big.
And it's
No.
padded. It's like
you wear it around your neck?
It's got
I could.
The
lanyard.
strap
It's
makes
got
it
a
look
style
bigger than
handle.
It's got a strap.
it's got a strap. It's got It's like a tactical thermos. Like, you know.
No, it's for
Pull
cool.
a knife out
it's
of
for
there?
cool sports. It says right on it, cool
okay.
sports.
Yeah.
You can wear it around your neck.
What's the coolest sport?
X Games. All of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. Every X game
No,
rolled
I-
into one at the same time.
Those are extreme, not that
Extremely cool.
Cool. Okay.
What
Yeah.
do you got in there?
Vodka.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's water.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of water to drink during a podcast. I'm impressed.
I've
You can hold your water.
I've been drinking 2.5 of these a day.
Yeah.
In a lot of time.
That's a good
Nice.
amount of water.
Yeah, at home I've got like 2 water bottles that I just keep in the fridge and
Ready to
go
go.
through those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ready to hydrate.
This Zojirushi business keeps the water watery.
That's right. You guys ready to hydrate your news gland?
Is
what-
do I have to?
Yes. You
Nourish-
have to. Mine is plenty wet.
His is good.
Nourish yourself with these headlines from the world of video games. I feel like Saints Row is the only game that something this absurd could happen to.
Yeah.
The company that effectively calls itself THQ now controls Saints Row again.
That's been on a journey.
THQ Nordic, which
Which was Nordic Games.
used to be Nordic Games until not that long ago.
Yeah.
Like probably in the last year.
Yeah. It was like late last year. They rebranded to THQ Nordic. They bought the rights to the THQ name and
Yes.
some of the games in the portfolio, but not all of the
Yes.
games in the portfolio because they all were up for auction. A lot of them purchased by a company called Deep Silver.
Yeah, real actual THQ filed for bankruptcy in December 2012. Yeah, Deep Silver got Saints Row, the property,
Mhm.
Saints Row developer Volition, the Metro franchise,
Mm-hmm.
and later they also got Homefront from Crytek. So
Right,
Crytek bought
yeah.
Homefront, and then they were like, "Oh, we're done with this."
Yeah.
So Deep Silver picked that up too. Meanwhile, Nordic Games bought like most of the rest of THQ,
Yeah.
including the name.
And their THQ boner continued
and-
last week by them buying Deep Silver.
Yes, then now so they now have bought Deep Silver and
They're
got
like, man, this property's just not together enough.
yeah, right.
We need to get it all back under one roof.
So they already had THQ Nordic already had Darksiders, Red Faction,
Yeah.
the other THQ stuff.
Yeah.
Now they've bought Deep Silver and have all that other stuff.
They didn't. Did they just buy Deep Silver, or did they buy the whole like the?
It says they bought Koch Media, like the
Yeah.
whole thing, which owns. This is a story.
Is that
from-
how that's pronounced?
Yes.
Is it Koch?
Well, I don't know. Some people may say that
Koch.
Koch, but like it's
I think of Ed Koch, the mayor.
I think of the Koch brothers,
How about Chotch?
I try not to.
who I think might be involved in
Yeah.
that operation.
The Chooch brother. What? Yeah.
Maybe.
I heard
Alright.
that. I don't
Yeah.
know if it's true, but
Yeah,
I've heard that.
I think that might be the case.
So they bought that whole organization.
That's what this story on Polygon
Not just Deep
says.
Silver.
Yes,
It's the
yes.
parent company,
Yes.
the media, because that company distributed a lot of independent rap albums on CD and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
really.
Like they just a distributor. They just distribute media.
I'm curious, did they say a price?
149 million.
All right. Yeah, I mean, when it comes to Agents of Mayhem owning that IP, there's no amount of expense.
Yeah,
to be
Yeah.
spared.
yeah. Just to get it all under one roof, and you're like, man, if only Agents of Mayhem had a little bit of Darksiders in it, then maybe something would have happened.
Maybe you get some.
Now they need to buy 2K just so they can get the WWE license back.
Oh man.
And then,
and then destroy it,
and then-
launch it into the sun.
You can't do any worse than 2K's doing. So
This story says that Volition is at work on a new AAA game.
okay,
So
what does that mean?
Yeah.
Like a new IP,
That's
or
what they probably would have said about Agents of Mayhem.
Right.
Uh,
They've lowered. Yeah. They've changed the definition of
this Polygon story actually says between the two companies, THQ Nordic and Koch Media have a combined 50 game projects in development.
Oh god.
Yeah.
17 of those have been announced, while 33 remain unannounced. Ugh.
SpongeBob SquarePants episodes on GBA. They're just going to get back into the,
Yeah.
the good business.
Right. That's right.
You Draw tablets are back.
Mhm.
All that shit, y'all.
Still sitting there in the warehouse.
so many Switch remakes.
So, like now that they've kind of pieced this bit of it back together, what's the countdown to them rebranding to just THQ? Because I figured that was THQ Nordic felt like the stopgap of like we're not quite ready to give up the Nordic Games name. We want you to transition your way through this so you understand what we're doing.
I pulled up their website. Like, is that the straight up THQ logo?
When they rebranded as THQ Nordic, they used the last or it's something that looks very much like the last real THQ logo.
With the orange Q.
Yeah, and so like they're heading in that direction.
Yeah, like they are morphing into THQ. So right before our eyes.
Unless they're into the idea of like letting people know like, hey, we're Nordic.
Yeah.
Which I think paints them as a regional publisher, which you then start to associate with, Farming Simulator and some of this other crazier shit.
I kind of like having a subtitle to your game, like THQ Nordic. It makes it sound more professional and
like
more
in your logo build, you can have a whisper in it. The way
it
EA
like
used
kind
to.
of floats in a way.
THQ Nordic.
Like remember your roots.
Nordic. Icy. THQ Ice. No.
This is a nice looking website.
Cool.
For what it's worth.
What's the Deep Silver website look like? I mean, is it good or is it bad? I mean, come on.
See what they're getting.
It's
from
just
this
the
deal.
Agents of Mayhem.
They've taken it
Copy
down.
a Hot Dog
Waiting
Pro.
for it to load. I'm gonna say the THQ website looks better.
Okay.
THQ
Well, there you go. That's how this works.
They've got
Who's got a better website?
Yeah.
They're the parent company. That's how it always works.
I mean, they're doing Darksiders 3.
Yeah.
They're making Biomutant looks pretty cool and ambitious.
Oh, right. Yeah, that thing, yeah.
There is a new MX versus ATV, according to this website.
Yep.
Oh,
that thing's
baby.
Thing's been on the books for a little bit.
And now they're getting all those other THQ properties. I mean, they're kind of making a run
Coming back
for it.
They're making a new THQ
Making a play.
at it.
Yeah.
For whatever that's worth.
Yeah, it's just such a weird thing.
'Cause it didn't... I mean, whatever. Those are like memorable properties that there's stuff to do with stuff like a Darksiders and Metro's looking really good.
Yeah.
I think it probably makes sense for them putting it, but putting it back together, I don't think makes sense as hey, we've got fondness for the full THQ catalog.
Yeah.
That can't be the thing that drove this.
Yeah.
I'm sure that it's more like, hey, Agents of Mayhem didn't hit, and now there's an opportunity for us to
buy on the cheap.
get you guys before Metro hits, and because people are really liking the look of that.
Yeah. Get them at a low.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if there are a lot of hearts and minds out there yearning for the return of THQ.
But
necessarily.
But the THQ name, and I think they could have done this without buying Deep Silver, but the THQ name has weight. For better or for
I guess
worse.
so. I guess so.
If people remember it, people will never remember realize oh, it went away and it came back and it's a totally different company. It's like the thing that Atari, when Infogrames rebranded as Atari, the thing they were trying to accomplish.
Right,
there.
These people are doing a way better job of that thing.
I think so.
Than the Atari
I think so.
outfit did.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Atari, I think, just launched a cryptocurrency or is talking about it.
They lent their name to a company. Okay. They're Atari's in the business of trying to make money off of whatever the fuck Atari is.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's more or less that they said hey, we're going to license our name to this company that's going to make a cryptocurrency and call it fucking Atari token, whatever the fuck they called it. I think I think it's literally fucking called tokens. Atari fucking tokens.
Didn't they use
Isn't that a crime? Maybe. Not yet. I don't know.
No, I think they use Atari tokens in a membership program or something like that.
It is definitely called Atari token.
Which is not a thing. Atari didn't own arcades. It'd be like if I was launching a Chuck E. Cheese cryptocurrency, which I am, we will call those tokens because Chuck E. Cheese had fucking tokens.
Cheese nibs.
Yeah.
What do we call those?
Well, here you go.
Chuck Bucks.
Chuck Bucks.
Atari stock jumps 52% on plans for nostalgia-backed cryptocurrencies.
Wow. Right. That's
the phrase "nostalgia-backed cryptocurrencies" is one of the worst phrases I've ever heard.
It's fucking real bad.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
They're making another one called Pong Token.
Wait, they're
hang on. That's the story suggests
that's not right. That can't be. Please be right.
Yeah.
So there's two.
There will be a separate crypto
All right, Jeff, we need to get started on Pitfall Coin.
Yeah, we're gonna.
It's right there in the name.
We're gonna get
this
David.
is going to lose you
We're
money.
gonna pay David Crane to tweet about it,
Yeah.
and that'll be good. That'll be good enough.
Let me just read you another sentence. This is on Ars Technica. Atari is also planning to extend its existing partnership with online casino maker Paraplay to create a separate Pong token that will be accepted in crypto casinos.
Crypto casinos.
What the fuck is that?
Oh, that's a thing.
What is that though? Like
It's an
you
online
virtually go-
casino where you gamble.
Okay.
Bitcoin.
I get it.
Atari's bread and butter, apparently.
Weird.
I guess the speaker hats weren't fucking moving, huh?
No.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they've got that Atari box thing announced, but like they haven't necessarily said a lot about that lately, and that never seemed like a great idea the more they talked about it. So there's probably nothing to be gained by continuing to speak about it.
Okay, what if we fleece some people out of some money with some cryptocurrency?
I mean, they're not doing to me the fleecing.
sure.
They're just like, oh, this company that wants to fleece people out of their money with a cryptocurrency
Can totally use our name.
can totally use our name because what the fuck does this name mean anymore? Jack fucking shit. It's sad.
But still, their stock jumped like 52%.
Well, I'm not sure what their stock was previously. That may
Yeah.
not be.
Yeah,
a
that's
large
like
sum
now
of
it's worth
money.
53 cents.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I don't get any of this, and I don't.
The
I
Atari
don't
name
want
has
to.
been through the motherfucking mud.
Oh yeah.
For so many years. It has gone through so fucking much, and it's split into two at one point, and then Midway bought one part, and Infogrames bought the other part, and it's just been a confusing. It's someone who has tried to fucking keep data straight in a goddamn wiki. Atari's been a mess for years.
Yeah. The part that went with Midway is now at Warner.
It's now
Brothers,
Warner,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Warner owns some number of those properties. But it's arcade. It's all the home stuff and all the arcade stuff up to a certain date, up to the split between Atari Inc. and Atari Games, I think it was, are what this Atari controls. Okay. So Tempest 4000, which Jeff Minter is currently making, is this Atari.
Okay.
It is fucking cryptocurrency Atari.
French Atari.
Is it still French?
I believe so.
Okay. Yes, French Atari. The most devastating of Ataris.
I think that's the case.
The only company left still using the Atari name, also, really, is that. And then I think stuff past a certain date. So, like, Atari's last batch of arcade releases, like War Final Assault and that fucking motorcycle game that just found its way into MAME recently. That would still, I think that's technically Warner, is how that goes.
What about that Asteroids game?
Asteroids is old enough to where it would be old Atari or French Atari.
Okay.
And that Asteroids Outpost, that
Yeah.
fucking, you mean the thing that came and went on
the
Steam?
recent one?
Yep.
That is French Atari.
Okay.
All day long. French Atari is the one who said, let's launch some kind of weird-looking crowdfunding campaign to bring Roller Coaster Tycoon to Switch.
Yeah, same people.
Same people. That's
Speaker hats, cryptocurrencies,
cryptocurrency. This fucking shadowy console that looks vaguely like a 2600.
investment opportunities.
Yes.
The wood grain isn't real, right?
I'm gonna say probably not, but I
Fuck
don't.
those guys.
I kind of think the whole thing's not
those
real.
guys.
So I don't know.
True.
The wood grain is the least of their concerns, or it's real enough. But
It's my only concern.
I doubt that thing will make it to market. Like I
At
feel
all?
like they
You're
would have.
probably
I feel
right.
like they would have been talking a little bit more about it as they ramped up on it.
It's been over a year.
Yeah.
It's been a while since
It's been a while since they've said anything additional, and now suddenly it's like, cryptocurrency, asteroids on the blockchain. Shoot the blockchain.
Okay.
You can mine. What if you can mine Pong coins by playing Pong?
There's probably some way you could rig that up.
I don't like the future.
Nope.
It's bad.
Mm-mm.
Well, this is happening in the future, but it's from the past. Burnout Paradise Remastered.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's
I
out,
think-
that's out soon.
I think that's probably a good thing. It's $40, which my first reaction was like,
It's got the DLC.
It's
got
all
it's got
of
all
it.
the DLC in it.
Okay.
Which I'll tell you, the island, the Big Surf Island they added on, not great.
Not great.
No.
Yeah, most of their DLC I was not super fond for.
Yeah.
Compared to the base game, it's
Remember-
fine, but it's not.
PC players never got the opportunity.
Right, yes.
Right. Well,
Remember the Year of Paradise?
Yes, the year of experiments to stop people from selling games back to GameStop.
Yeah, it says includes the original base game and the 8 add-on packs released during the Year of Paradise.
Which means then that's probably like a bootleg Back to the Future DeLorean. in there too
Oh,
and
wow,
stuff
I
because
wonder.
they did. There's a Ghostbusters car.
Oh, that's right.
So have they talked about like licenses when it comes to music
No,
and
they
cars?
The tweet they put out had like lyrics from Paradise City in it.
Okay.
I didn't watch the trailer they put out, but I would.
Does the trail?
No,
Did anyone watch the trailer?
no,
No,
It's
I
not
read the
Avril in it?
I read the
it
press
does not.
release.
I know
It
that
does not
much.
have Avril in it.
But like,
That-
why? You know,
that needs to be
Well, I mean, it's going to be
rectified.
complicated because she's dead and she's been
Yeah.
replaced by a body double.
I don't know why
so,
they had
like,
they had to make it so complicated.
Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah. But yeah, so they can negotiate with Avril Lavigne's estate, which I assume would be willing to negotiate to put a fitting tribute, like a fitting tribute to
Nice,
one of her
classy.
greatest songs.
Yeah.
It's the same
One
estate
of.
as Nickelback, isn't it?
I think they're all.
I think
the same now, yeah.
I think I don't. Are
Well,
they
it's different
still-
because they were married, but she died and has been
Right.
replaced
Oh,
by a
okay.
body double.
You're
yeah.
right.
So now I think the
Um,
body double is now
so-
part of the Nickelback
Yeah, does
family.
she get looped
French
into
Nickelback,
that?
French
That's a
Canadian
good
Nickelback.
question. Yeah.
There's a whole thing. I don't know. I would hope that the soundtrack would remain intact if they're doing this work.
Yes.
But also, that's one of those things that a lot of remasters and re-releases have trouble doing.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when like San Andreas came out and they had to like cut songs from it because like a
They were-
couple people were like suing them
They were like
over.
patching songs out after
Right.
they'd been released.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Bummer. But this is just like a visual upgrade for the most
Yeah, it
part.
says
right?
range of technical enhancements for greater visual fidelity, including high resolution textures.
Sweet.
4K 60
in
on
4K,
Pro and X.
60 FPS on
Rad.
PlayStation 4 Pro and Xbox
Okay.
One X.
Yeah, I'm absolutely in.
Yeah, I wonder how much better. So it's not it's launching next month on consoles, but PC is just at a later date. They don't have a.
Are they doing a separate PC
Yeah.
version?
Yes,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
It already came out on PC. That version is fine. So I'll be curious to see how different that looks. But they are saying like, this is the first time that Island add-on will come to PC.
Oh, right, sure.
Okay.
DJ Atomica, is he going to be in there? Surely.
Yeah,
surely they
yeah,
will
that's-
re-up that contract or whatever.
I wonder if they would even have to. If
Yeah,
they maybe the original contract would have just bought that voiceover outright and they can just use it. But
Sure.
As far as we know, all online functionality is still going to be
I hope
intact?
so. The big question for me is if it has that amazing camera feature.
Oh yeah.
Every time you take somebody down, was it the takedowner or the takedown E?
the person who took it down,
they got
a picture
their,
taken
they
of
got
them.
their picture taken at the moment of takedown
Yeah,
and slapped in the game, which is just a fantastic feature.
That was
that's
dumb.
fun.
I hope that is in there, although my Kinect died, so if I play this on Xbox, I guess I won't get that.
It's okay. They have other ways of viewing you inside of your home now. Technology has advanced.
Yeah,
Yes,
they've already
that's
got
fair.
Which
pictures.
is the whole thing. It'll
That's
be a
fair.
picture they took earlier now.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
It'll be like, here's a random photo we snapped.
That game's fun to play online with people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that co-op stuff, the kind of free burn challenge
Yes.
system.
Yes.
I wonder how that if that's going to come over intact. Like I wonder how that'll do, because there were clunky weird things about that because there were sets of challenges for each number of players. So there were challenges you could only complete with 3 players, 4 players, 5 players, 6, 7, 8. So if you were in a lobby and there were 7 players in there, you could only do the 7-player challenges. You couldn't take like 2 people and go off. Oh, we're gonna go off and do this.
Just boot 'em.
Without having to like shut it down, start a private game, invite
Shut
people.
it down.
So like getting all of those done, which is what I was trying to do, and eventually did before they added more, was hard.
You had too many friends. Sorry, Jeff.
No, it was mostly with strangers, honestly. Like and me playing that game for fucking like 200 hours or something. Like eventually got them all.
Wow. This is super cool.
Yeah.
As somebody
Good video game.
boots us up, probably once or twice a year. It's going to be awesome to have a console with like updated visuals and
Yeah, I would love to see like a side by side
yeah.
on this, because like the 360 version is backwards compatible on Xbox One.
Just think about
Already.
you got better speakers, bigger TV. Like it's just gonna overwhelm you.
Yeah,
When's it out?
Next month?
March 20th, I think is what it is.
16th.
16th. Okay.
Sweet. Less than a month.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
I'll take it.
Speaking of remasters.
Oh boy, they keep coming.
This is not officially announced, but well, this is more of a remake, I guess. Kotaku UK reported that based on multiple sources, Activision is remaking the Spyro the Dragon trilogy. Anybody?
Nope.
Finally.
In the
Have not played any.
in the style of the Crash Bandicoot thing from last year, the
Okay.
trilogy.
Which fucking sold
Yeah,
really well.
Yes,
Yeah.
sold
So-
gangbusters.
So this is the next step.
They're supposedly now doing it for Spyro.
He was a hot property for a while,
Yeah, I
wasn't
guess.
he? Yeah.
I don't know.
He breathes fire.
He's a drag. He's a cute.
He's a dragon.
Purple dragon.
You get a little dragonfly friend. Come on.
Yeah,
that's
Ripto's
true.
Revenge.
Yeah, it's
Most gripping
If you
video game villain.
if you wanted like another clear indicator that Skylanders is done,
Yeah.
here it is.
Oh yeah, sure.
Because that was a Spyro game.
I know that's so hard. It's so hard to remember that Skylanders spun out of Spyro.
I just bought some Skylander vehicles
Are they
this weekend.
Cheap? Are they easy to come by at this
$2 a
point?
piece, yeah.
I saw full price Skylanders at a Target
Fuck,
like
man.
a couple weeks ago,
Aw.
and I was like, "What the fuck is up with that?" Like that's
Jeez.
hey, you want to buy? I got a Toy Fair exclusive Cinder.
Oh,
for
yeah.
$300. $300.
$300.
$300.
Hmm,
That's
I'll
a
think
deal.
about that.
I saw it going for twice that on eBay once.
No,
It's
we've
probably still there. Don't look.
we've been buying those things up. They're actually good toys.
Yeah.
Yeah, not bad.
I want a remaster bundle collection of just like 3 random. Like we've had 3 crashes, we've had 3 Spyros. I want like Earthworm Jim 64. Fucking
What?
Toe Jam and Earl.
Yeah, I just want
That's
like
coming.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Jim and Earl's coming.
give me the Blockbuster special rental
Right.
pack.
The fucking
Oh, yeah.
I want the 16-bit era fucking like generic like here's like what Kid Clown
Yeah,
and Vex. Now Vex was placed.
a Vex, a Gex,
Yeah.
Croc.
and connects.
A Vex, a Gex, and a Sex. It's a copy of the Guy game in there
Oh,
with
yeah.
some scenes removed.
Oh, for licensing
No,
reasons.
no one's going to
Yeah,
jail.
Yeah, licensing reasons.
Yeah, this thing is supposed to be the first 3 games: Spyro the Dragon, Ripto's Rage, and Year of the Dragon.
Yeah.
I felt like I might have reviewed one of those, so I checked, and sure enough, I reviewed Year of the Dragon.
Show enough. Was it
It was
good?
probably the worst of them.
4 game spot, which I called an obvious rehash.
Okay.
Damn.
Burned.
So after Crash, like inevitably it was going to be Spyro, right? But
Yeah.
where do we go from here?
I
What's
don't know.
next?
What else does
Who's
Activision
next?
have?
Jack and Daxter.
They
Yeah.
already did that.
Not for PS4 though, did
Yeah,
they?
they did.
Oh, they did?
They
Okay.
they did it again.
Oh.
I mean, they did.
Killzone.
Sly Cooper already happened.
Yeah.
Killzone already happened.
Fuck.
Uncharted.
That,
That basically already happened.
yeah, that happened.
Burnout.
Mm.
Medieval.
That's what I'm thinking.
That is rumored to be happening.
That is happening. They announced that.
Or they announced it.
during
It's not
was
rumored.
it Paris Games Week?
Yeah,
that they
that's
said?
not,
really?
That's not a
Yeah.
rumor. That's for
Shit.
real.
Banjo.
Thought I was being smart for once.
Banjo. They did those XBLA
Yeah,
versions
they did
and
Rare
sold them as
Replay.
part of Rare Replay.
Mm-hmm.
Nuts and Bolts 2, though.
Oh.
Mario 64.
Okay.
Did it on the
now you're talking.
3DS, man.
God damn it. No, that was the regular DS, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, that was a regular DS.
Shit, that would.
There are no more
God,
old
that
video
would
games.
sell. Oh no, we'll find some.
Pilot
Right.
Wings.
You're probably
Yeah.
Oh man, like a Pilot Wings collection? Sure. Okay. Yeah. Do that. Pilot Wings collection. Are there enough?
There's
There's got to be at least
2.
Aren't there
There's
two?
I thought there were at least 3.
I'm pretty sure it's just Pilot Wings and Pilot Wings
Yeah.
64.
No, they made one for. I reviewed the one for 3DS. It was a launch game.
Oh, right. Yeah, they fucking didn't they?
There we
Pilot-
go.
There you go.
Looking forward to it next year.
Pilot Wings
Q2
Resort.
2018.
Wow, I don't remember.
19.
No, it's Wii Sports Resort. It's Pilot
No,
Wings.
Pilot Wings Resort. I'm
Keg
looking at
party.
it.
Does it
Right
take
here.
place on Woohoo Island?
I think it might actually. Hang
That's
on.
the lead character in Pilot Wings Resort.
Who's a better character,
Dr.
Woohoo
Woohoo?
Island or New York?
Yes, they did.
New York's definitely been in more games.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
absolutely takes place on Woohoo Island.
Wow.
I can confirm.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Man.
Now
I don't remember Pilot Wings Resort at all.
It was a launch game.
It was too good.
It was one of the very few launch games.
I was too busy playing Steel Diver.
That's right.
Mhm.
And that amazing Street Fighter 4 port.
Yeah.
I can't find. I'm trying to find what
I tried playing Ridge Racer for 3DS in a car with the 3D turned on, and it felt bad.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Let's see. There's been various talk in various levels of government about loot boxes over the last 3-4 months, let's say.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And now Senator Maggie Hassan from New Hampshire has sent a letter, let's say a sternly worded letter,
To who?
to the ESRB
Okay.
urging them to review their kind of previous assessment of what loot boxes are and how they should be rated and regulated. She's not.
What was their previous assessment?
Like they said, they're fine.
Okay.
We don't have a problem with loot boxes.
We represent the game industry. It's okay.
We don't think we need any extra action to address this stuff.
We're already telling you if it's got the boobs in it.
Yeah, exactly. Like she's not flat out saying like, hey, we're going to legislate if you don't do something about this, but it's starting to move in that direction. Let's see. Here's a snippet from the letter. The prevalence of in-game microtransactions, often referred to as loot boxes. I just think it's funny for a U.S. senator to use the phrase loot box.
Loot box.
Not state senator. This is like full on.
Yes. But yeah, so there are people in various state legislatures, California and Hawaii are the two that are like working on actual legislation that would do some kind of.
But is this the first one that might like?
It could go
enter
that
at
way.
a federal level.
Yes, this is the first time I've seen a U.S. senator.
Because the federal government huge on consumer protection these days.
Yes, of course.
Way into it.
Yeah.
It's like pretty much top of fucking agenda.
This
item for
will
them.
finally be the bipartisan issue that brings our
everybody
government
together.
together.
Whatever. Like if this is gonna fucking work its way through the fucking Senate and come out with more loot boxes on the other end. Like no, we think they're good. In fact, we think more games should have them.
Yeah.
In fact, you buy games now from loot boxes. You
Right.
don't know what game you're gonna get.
Anyway, yeah, she says this stuff raises concerns surrounding the use of psychological principles and enticing mechanics that closely mirror those found in casinos and games of chance.
Yeah. I can't argue with that.
Yeah.
But
again,
it is just a respectful urging for them to review their previous assessment. It's not.
Fix your shit so we don't have to.
Yeah, that's kind of the that's how it went with a lot of the with the establishment of the ESRB was designed to, hey, let's do this so the government doesn't do it for us because they will be fucking way worse at it.
I don't want them involved. Yeah.
But if you remember what I've got some details about these state bills here. Like if you remember what that Hawaii state rep said a few months ago, he was like, hey, only a few states need to pass.
He was like, the force is not with this loot box, that's for sure.
Yeah. But he was saying only a few states need to regulate this before it kind of de facto affects everybody.
He was like, yo, the loot boxes are a bit much.
Yeah. Let's see.
Let me back that up and run it and just see. Yoda's a character from the Star Wars.
He also said, if you buy this loot box, I will return more powerful than you could have possibly imagined.
Oh, so like it's like an unlockable
Yeah,
upgrade in the
you get
box?
an upgrade in
Great.
the box. He said that's a bad thing, though.
Oh.
He said that,
What?
and then he's like, ... It's a bad thing, though.
I want to be more powerful.
Well, you can. Do you have the money to be more powerful?
Yes.
Okay, then congratulations. You
All
can
right.
be as powerful as you want.
I've become
Granted.
I've decided to become a lobbyist.
Oh, no.
I hear there's good money in that. I would say the most dire thing in all of this is the bill that is granted still in committee in Hawaii. But one of the things it would do is make it illegal to sell games to people under 21 that contain, quote, randomized reward systems.
That's a weird thing because, where do you draw the line on that? Because, games with drop
drops.
tables are suddenly randomized reward systems under the broadest interpretation of that. So,
No Borderlands
Right.
anymore in Hawaii.
Yeah.
It is now illegal to play
illegal to-
Borderlands 2
Oh, God,
in
that's
Hawaii.
right. Like Borderlands sold keys, right?
I mean, forget sales. Like, you shoot a guy and a
I know,
random
but-
gun drops.
I mean,
that's a randomized reward system.
Yeah, I guess. I have to assume that they're not going to... Like, I assume selling the rewards is part of it.
That's my assumption.
I figure that's probably the sensible or more sensible way to draw up legislation.
Yeah.
But if they go in heavy-handed like that, there's another good indication for the game industry to go like, oh, we need to...
Maybe we should self-police a little bit and just head this off.
Because, these people who have no idea what the fuck video games are going to roll in here and really do a fucking number on this shit in a way that goes above and below and beyond.
No more Diablo.
Yeah, exactly.
No more drops.
Diablo banned.
No more loot.
No more loot.
Monster Hunter banned.
What?
God damn it!
right.
Yeah, I still need.
What do you get when you carve that tail? We don't know.
We
All
don't
right,
know.
get this game out of here.
think I-
Only getting first aid.
We're
med.
fucking
I know.
dumping them into the volcano.
I gave up on ever
Aw.
getting any more Anjanath things. It's just not going to happen.
Also, that's how
Yeah,
Hawaii
that'll
plans
happen.
to enact its legislation by dumping all the games in a volcano.
They've got him.
It
Yeah,
works
they do.
for Heihachi.
Yeah.
do. I've been to one. It was crazy. Let's see. Last story? Yeah, this is the last story. The System Shock remake is on the rocks.
No.
It's on hiatus.
No. What?
Despite raising $1.3 million on Kickstarter.
Yeah, it was a Kickstarter thing.
They have said they're putting it on hiatus. They are talking like they overscoped a lot.
Okay.
They are, quote, reassessing development.
Is 1.3 a ton of money for like a...
No, not at all.
It's
I'm not
a
super
lot of money for
surprised then.
Kickstarter. It
Okay.
is not a lot of money in the world of developing a video game.
That's what I meant, yes.
Same here.
We played the alpha that they put out of that on a UPF.
Yeah,
ages
that seemed
ago,
really
and
cool.
It looked awesome. Like, I really liked the style of it.
It sounded like they fucking went off the reservation on this thing in a real wild way.
Yeah,
like they were, courting publishers, and then that led to them, let's make the game bigger, and then suddenly it was less of a remake and more of a new thing.
like a reboot.
The interview, was this Polygon that had this? Quotes from the
I pulled this
guy
off
at
of,
Night Dive?
Oh, they may well have. I pulled this off of Kotaku.
Okay. Well, there were the quotes just basically saying like, it got away from us. He seemed very like, hey, we intend to circle back on this and get it done and get the rewards out to the people that backed us. But like, it sounds like that they're taking contractors off the project and not laying any full-timers off, but it doesn't sound like this is something they're going to be actively working on for
a while. Yeah, the quote I've got here is that they say they envisioned doing more but strayed from the core concepts of the original title. Yeah, so they were trying to make it more than it was.
Feature creep.
Yeah, I guess so, but that seems dodgy. For people who back that thing.
Yeah, it's not a very good look.
Trying to make the best game you can, and plenty of people plenty of studios have raised money on Kickstarter and then used that to get more money and funding from a publisher or whatever. Like 505 is publishing that fucking Igarashi game, the Castlevania like thing, Bloodstained.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
They're publishing that, like that's a pretty common practice to like raise some chunk of money and then go like, hey, we want to put this out for reals.
Look, the interest is here.
Let's
we got some of the funding already.
put some more money into it. We'll make it bigger. Everybody wins.
But these guys have not landed a publisher.
No, you're kind of playing with fire with that stuff.
Shit.
Well, they were putting it out themselves. This is Night Dive Studios, which like they already publish like their bread and butter is kind of getting old games back out there.
Right, but this sounded like that as they were growing it in scope, that they started maybe pursuing publishing deals. That was what I got from some of the quotes in there anyway.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong, but that's what it sounded like.
Yeah.
So that sounds like, as considering they already published stuff, that sounds like maybe they were trying to do something even bigger, and maybe that backfired on them.
This was also a good opportunity for me to finally figure out what the split on this is for good, which is that Night Dive was doing this remake of System Shock while they have licensed the System Shock property out for System Shock 3 to Other Side Entertainment. Remember?
Okay.
Warren Spector is actually working on that, I believe, right?
On 3?
Yes.
Okay.
Any System Shock fans in here?
And then the Ultima thing is also
I think that's also Other Side.
Other Side?
Yeah. I've never been able to keep this stuff straight.
Yeah.
Between those two studios and those properties and Warren Spector. Weird. Let me triple check. I think that's...
Hey, did Shenmue 3 come out?
No.
Yes. It was great.
Everything we ever wanted. It's all fixed now.
Yeah, okay. I believe that is correct. Yeah, like Warren Spector and Other Side are making System Shock 3. Like an actual sequel. While Night Dive was making the System Shock remake and is not currently.
I wonder if this
It's a
ends
mess.
with them giving System Shock 3 to everyone who backed System Shock.
Oh, God.
Or something weird like that.
Ooh.
Like they say that they're going to try to make good on this and finish this
mean,
project.
You mean if they didn't ever
but
manage to finish the remake? Yeah.
They also are not actively working on it and have this other thing in the works. Like I wonder where this ends up.
I mean, if you get a proper sequel made by the guy who made System Shock in the first place, that's maybe not the worst outcome.
Not what they backed.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Kickstarter.
That's not a good look.
Yeah, remember Kickstarter?
Backer beware.
Yeah.
Let's say. How's that water treating you?
It's good.
Shall we adjourn one more time before we get into some emails?
I mean, I'm okay.
You guys want to
I could do a break. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Let's take a short break and we'll be back.
Okay.
All right.
Electronic mails.
What about
Where?
Right here. On my,
Gross.
on my laptop.
You should tell IT about
Well, I
that.
think
Don't
they're,
zap
I
yourself.
think they're safe.
About that.
Well, actually, I copied and pasted them, so they're just actually text.
Oh, perfect.
All right. Okay.
I'm
Text. I'm
sure no formatting came
Okay.
over in the copy paste procedure.
No worms, no Trojans.
Sure.
Is it Control V or Control Shift V?
Control V. What does the shift do?
I believe that matches formatting, so you can use that to get rid of stuff if you're just pasting into a simple.
Learn something new every day.
Hot tips.
It gets all the viruses out,
Okay.
basically.
I see.
Yeah.
That's what. Yeah.
It's like a cheesecloth for email paste. Okay, got it. Bombcast@giantbomb.com. First email is from Christian in Rosemount, Minnesota.
Cool.
I'm an avid listener of the podcast, but I'm not on the site as often, so maybe I just missed this. But have you guys stopped writing formal reviews? The last one on the site is for Battlefront 2. Maybe that was the game that broke you.
I was going to say, yeah,
We took a hard stand.
Went out on it. That was games are bad.
Time to rethink this whole thing.
Yeah, no, I don't know. You know, we evolve over the years. You know, there's some stuff that changes, some stuff that doesn't, and you know, now this is we're in our 10th year. We're coming up on kind of the 10th anniversary of this thing. And yeah, I think, you know, we spent a lot of time kind of looking at how we spend our time and what do we want to cover, what sort of stuff do we want to do. So, you know, we haven't really made any hard decisions about reviews, but also it hasn't really felt like, I don't think any game since Battlefront has come along where it's felt like vital to be like, oh, we gotta get a review of this out. I think January is always kind of slow on that stuff anyway. So I don't think you've seen the last written review from us, but at the same time, it doesn't really feel like the best way to cover games when we look at the other stuff we have at our disposal, you know, kind of videos, podcasts, all this other stuff. You know, I think I found that by the time we got around to writing a written review, we had already talked about a game a handful of times on the podcast.
In a quick look.
And we had some conversations about this stuff over the last couple months. And like it occurred to me how many times I'm writing something and literally quoting myself from some podcast or quick look.
And I think games have changed in a lot of ways too, where, you know, and whatever, they've been this for a long time, but you know, I feel like ever since like World of Warcraft, EverQuest, stuff like that, like the game as a service thing renders reviews obsolete at a point to where like, oh, they're like, it's an interesting relic of what that game was at that point in time. And that's useful to some number of people, but not widely.
Sure.
And I think that our takes evolve over time.
And I feel like personally a big thing for reviews back in the day was, should I buy this game, right? I'm going to read those reviews, see if I should spend $60. Now you can go on Twitch, you can go on YouTube. Like you can make a very informed decision without reading a single word about the game.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you end up in some situations where you've got like someone on YouTube or Twitch or someone who's being paid to stream a game and not say anything negative. Like, you know, I think there's value in reviews, but I think for a lot of types of games these days that are always evolving and more games doing that, I'm struggling to find where the review fits into kind of modern gaming and modern games coverage. So that said, you know, I don't think you've seen the last written review from us, but it is something that I've been thinking about a lot for the last 6 months, and I don't have like a good, clean answer for it yet. Other than like, you know, I guess there are some people out there that just like, you know, like reading our kind of
our takes,
in a cogent, formal setting.
And there's value in that, but
I don't know if that's necessarily the best way for us to be covering games.
You know, you just get at a certain point, you just get down to basic questions of like man hours versus output.
There's that
like
stuff,
like
but
it's very time consuming and it results in one piece of text.
You know, but like you're right, but at the same time, like the text ends up being it's the playing of the game that takes the most time.
Sure.
Playing a game to completion for review's sake.
Yeah. Depending on the game can be like two straight weeks or something.
And I think it's vital for us to be, even when it doesn't always result in like podcast discussion or coverage on the site or something like that, like there's value in us playing games to completion. You know, if we went the route of what's going to be the best bang for our buck, we would only play the first hours of games ever. Like we would never play Metal Gear Survive ever again. Beyond recording a video. And there are plenty of games where, you know, like we play it up to the point where we record a quick look and then never touch it again. And maybe no one else on staff touches it either. And that's fine in a lot of cases, but you as we strive to kind of be able to talk about games in a wide way. A wide way, is it? Yeah, I guess in kind of a more encompassing way. Like you have to fucking finish some stuff. If we got to the end of the year for Game of the Year and it was like, here are the 10 best games that I couldn't be bothered to finish, like that's a bad place to be. You know, it's an honest place to be, maybe for some people, but that doesn't feel like a great award presentation. So if for nothing else than to make sure that like Game of the Year still has something,
that's certainly why I stick through
for it. Like, I think there's value to finishing games, to seeing stuff all the way through. And then at that point, maybe, I think what we consider a review, I think should evolve, if nothing else, to be something that is more of a collection of like, here's what we've said about this game over the podcast, between the two podcasts, between a quick look, like whatever it is that kind of says like, hey, if you're interested in this game and knowing more about it, and want kind of a sum total on it, this is kind of the stuff you need to see.
Yep.
As opposed to like, here's the final word on this game that has been patched 9 times and rebalanced, and now the online is somehow more broken, and they've decided to start selling a car pass, like whatever else. Like, that review ends up like we certainly don't have time to go back and update text reviews to be like, oh, according to this patch, this game is now garbage or great or or whatever. So I think reviews in general, I think across the internet, are in a weird spot, and
written reviews.
Written reviews, the kind of they're just even regardless of how they're being presented, just like the idea of just like, here's this review at this point in time, yes or no. Like so many people are finding, like people know what their tastes are. Like also, I think the thing I keep coming back to is we speak to. It's a growing audience, so it's maybe not, like 5 years ago, it used to be way more like, okay, we know exactly who this audience is and what types of games they're going to be likely to be. They know, they care enough about video games to where they know what they're looking for.
Yes.
And as we've grown, that's definitely widened out a little bit to where there are definitely people who are not as plugged into games that are following our stuff, and that's great. Hello, welcome. But yeah, it's I don't know. I think reviews are in a weird spot across the board, and I don't know. As someone who has reviewed a whole fucking lot of video games, I do have some weird attachment to them still, but I don't think that they provide enough value to people in their current form.
What score would you give reviews?
It's like a 6. It's fine.
Okay.
Like reviews are fine,
but
it's
3 out of 5.
Yeah, it's like it's they should be better. They should be better at this point.
Yeah.
But I don't know that there's like a catch-all format that is reasonable to do without saying, I'm going to devote myself to this one game for the next 18 months and this review will be updated or whatever. Like that's crazy.
What about just a 30-minute podcast where we all scream about a video game, different games each, but
at the same time?
Yeah, but at the same time.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a very time-efficient way to do reviews.
Yeah, and some of us will be only on the left channel and some will only be on the right. So you can hear 3
out.
games on the left, 3 games on the right, and that'll hopefully narrow it down. I think about it a lot, but it feels like less of a priority for us. Just as
like when we get games, like it's not often that we have like a review in mind. Like that's not the end goal. When we're picking up a game.
So I think
it's more about the other ways of presenting it, whether it be streams or whatever.
Right.
Like with Monster Hunter or something like that. If I really wanted to go through the entire game, that's probably going to be like 150 hours or something like that.
Yeah.
Granted, I'm playing it already, but
and maybe you get to the end and you've got a burning desire to write something. Then maybe that'll make sense.
Then it's probably appropriate.
But yeah, it's at the same time, I don't want to fall into the trap that I think you've seen a lot. It's like some other personality stuff gets into this like thing where they're only talking about the games they like, and I think that's fine. But I think there's a wide gamut. Like you can't be afraid to just like engage with something where you're like, man, I don't think this game is good. And here's why. I
feel like Game of the Year is really good for that. It forces us.
Yeah.
Like I was playing games I wouldn't have otherwise seen.
Yeah,
sure.
I think the whole thing needs to evolve. Just games coverage in general. But with us specifically, like I think reviews can evolve into something different. I think I really liked how Game of the Year came out last year, and I want to change it. Also, I think there's a lot of stuff.
We were talking a little bit about like, what do we do? Let's just
yeah.
change everything, maybe.
Yeah,
It's fun. It's exciting.
Yeah.
'Cause it's nice to like work somewhere, like this is niche or whatever, but it's nice to work somewhere where we can just throw everything out. Kind of, if we
kind of,
sure, to an extent, but like, way more than any other organization I've been involved with.
Yeah, and that's kind of the other thing that I think is hard. Having been doing this specific thing for 10 years, is I think there's still stuff we're doing now that made a lot of sense when we came up with it 9 years ago, 8 years ago, stuff like that. That like there's some stuff that I think people have an expectation of what we do, and I think that's the thing that probably prevents us from throwing everything out.
Right.
But at the same time, like quick looks are way different than they have been. Like those kind of wax and wane, kind of like, oh well, how many of these should we be doing?
Right.
Like
how much should I play before I do a quick look?
Like we made a conscious effort, I think, like a year and a half, like a little while ago, to be like, hey, we're gonna do less of these because we shouldn't just be choosing games out of like, oh well, we got to fill this many slots, so we need to do this many quick looks, and it led to us doing videos for games that just like had no value, like people weren't watching them. We weren't like learning more about games in our process. Like it just wasn't solving any problem for anyone. So it's like, okay, well, it's what can we do instead of that stuff, and it's changed up a lot of our process. And I think that's when I look at us at 10. That's the stuff I think about, is like we need to keep tossing shit out and replacing it with better, more efficient ways to do stuff. Like, the quick look was born out of necessity. It was born out of, we need to find a way to cover games quickly.
Timely.
Yeah.
Timely. Yeah. It was like, reviews are never going to be that if we want to do them right.
Yeah.
Having a review on release day is never going to be guaranteed.
Yeah.
So the quick look was always like, oh, well, here's the thing we can have on release day for a game. But even then it's like, okay, well, do we need to have that? And now I think the numbers are in a different boat, where having it on release day is ideal, for just like the traffic business aspect of it, but it doesn't have to be, like it's still, we end up covering some things like way later just because of how our schedule ends up working out, and those videos do fine also. I don't know. I don't have any hard answers on that sort of stuff, but it's been taking up a lot of my time lately, thinking about like what's the stuff we can definitely walk away from, and what's the stuff we can get into in its stead.
Yep. To maximize our time, be more efficient, and
just make cooler shit.
Yeah, more fun stuff.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Now we got Jan, so we're good.
It's me.
You like to have fun?
I mixed feelings on fun.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
That's the exact right
That's
attitude.
why
3 out of 5.
Yeah.
3 out of 5 all the time.
There you go.
Mixed bag.
Next email is from Juan in what he refers to as New Fucking Zealand.
New fucking Zealand. Okay.
I want to finish up my PS2 collection, but really what I have left is all these shitty annualized sports games. I'm looking at NBA Live 09 right now on eBay. Should I just go with the latest one, or maybe there were some gems in the history, like WWE games, that got worse as time went on? Should I just keep to the latest of every series?
I guess.
I don't know if he's trying to finish a collection.
Yeah, then you
kinda
need
have
That
to
implies
buy them,
that you're
right?
getting everything.
Yeah,
But then he's got to pay New Zealand prices.
that's true.
Those are
Yeah.
crazy.
New Zealand basketball,
Yeah.
the deadliest of all basketball.
Shipping is no joke. But
I without knowing what he's trying to accomplish, I guess I can't answer that question.
well, PS2 collection to me sounds like he has to get everything.
Yeah.
Maybe
Got to
09.
buy them all. Sorry. Got to get
All
95.
right, look, dude. Okay, everyone else, stop listening, dude. Okay, just buy a bunch of copies of whatever the cheapest NBA is, and just take a big red Sharpie, change that numbering on the front. No one's ever gonna look at them. No one's ever gonna go through your collection and look at all the individual NBA games, dude. Okay, you guys can start listening again.
Yep.
Perfect.
Hope that helps.
Man, that would suck. Like, I could probably go to, some secondhand store and get a copy of 95, 96, 97.
I doubt that. Well,
Super cheap,
I wonder
right?
if, like, in New Fucking Zealand,
Yeah, that's the thing.
Can you do that?
Right.
It'd probably be cheaper just to book a trip to America, buy a bunch of used
There you go.
games.
No, well, that's the thing. Like, what stores stock PS2 games these days. You know, there's not a ton of it out there unless you're going to thrift
It's like,
stores.
what's
and,
what's the not GameStop? It's like
Sex.
Stop game.
yeah,
Kex.
yeah,
Checks.
Sex.
Oh,
CEX,
something exchange, right?
Yeah.
CD
Yes.
exchange. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I think they got PS2 games.
I think.
I thought you
Goodwill
were
has
I thought you were
360
implying
games.
that the opposite of GameStop was having sex, and I was going to say, yeah, I mean,
Nobody's ever had sex in a GameStop.
What?
it's not true.
All right, next email. Since we're already talking about PS2, here's another one. Joe from New York.
Hey.
Let's see.
Okay, from
yeah,
New
just
fucking York.
wanted to make sure this is not a repeat. It's totally not. Unlike systems like the SNES, which can easily be emulated. I'm sorry, I should read the subject line. The subject line is: would a third-party PS2 even be possible? Because we had a
Right.
email last week asking about like, hey, SNES Classic is out, Super NT is out. Like, could somebody make something like that for the PlayStation 1 and 2? Basically, just kind of reverse engineer and
Right,
put out
right.
like a modern day PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
He says, unlike systems like the SNES, which can easily be emulated both as software and hardware, I feel like the PlayStation would be a little more difficult. The most popular emulators for the PlayStation and PlayStation 2, along with other disc-based consoles, require something from the original system, a dump of the BIOS.
Mm-hmm.
Since the only legal way to get that would be to dump it yourself, would a third party selling a box like the Super NT even be legally possible?
In that specific case, like, you know, well, so there are also emulators for PlayStation that will emulate the BIOS calls and not require you to provide a Sony, like something from a PlayStation.
So that work has been done?
It's not perfect.
Is that legal?
Yes. I mean, it is as legal as the rest of this stuff.
Okay.
You know, some of the stuff happens due to like copyrights and stuff expiring. You know, on certain devices and chips and stuff like that, to where, you know, there was talk from like companies like Hyperkin that were like, oh, you know, we're coming up on a point where maybe N64 devices might be viable to just put out on the market, whether it's emulated or whatever. Just the idea of just like, hey, we've reverse engineered the regional lockout chip for an N64 or whatever, what have you. That stuff that has kind of a timer on it. I think that's how the Super NT and stuff like this ends up happening and being legal, is because enough time has passed to where whatever copyrights Nintendo had on the specific region lockouts and all this other stuff are now elapsed in a way that they can be safely reverse engineered and legally reverse engineered and put into the marketplace.
Interesting.
So some of these systems might still be too new for that, so you end up running into that. And it ends up actually being a lot of work. My understanding is that, you know, the reasons why, you know, there are plenty of emulators that will work with a BIOS but not require it because they've emulated it in some way. A lot of like Atari 8-bit emulator it'll use the BIOS if you have it, but they've emulated it largely. Just compatibility goes down because they maybe haven't emulated it perfectly or something like that. So that just means there's more work to be done to handle those BIOS calls and make it work. It's not impossible to do. The complexity of a PlayStation 2 is fucking way higher than a SNES
Sure.
In a lot of ways. So that work is not easy, and at some point maybe that work is not even cost effective to do, whether it's the cost of materials to actually put into the device are just too much, or the cost of fucking actually doing the work to develop the thing in the first place. You know, maybe at some point that's just not reasonable yet. But there are ways to make that go.
All right. I was mostly curious about this because in the early days of PS2 or even PlayStation emulation, like they always were like, here's the emulator. You need this other file.
Right.
You didn't get it from us. You should really dump it from your own console.
Yeah.
This is not legal. There you go. Like that was the attitude around those emulators was
but
very much like the BIOS file was some kind of piece of contraband or something.
Yeah, but you know, at the same time, all those emulators are loading ISOs already. So, you know, like at some point, you know, most of the people using those are not ripping their own discs. So if they're crossing that bridge, the bridge to download the BIOS dump is not
a big concern.
Not a big concern for them.
But it is for if somebody's going to sell a commercial product.
Exactly.
That
is
stuff.
yes. They can't just say like, hey, we've included I mean, you know, they could try to license it from Sony or something if they wanted to go that route. That's certainly an option. You know, if Sony wanted to do one, they could include a dump of their own BIOS in there, no fucking problem. But yeah, it's complicated, and it's a lot of work that needs to be done. It's been interesting following the Super NT kind of post-release with this jailbreak firmware.
That happened faster than expected, I think.
And people are finding, there's only still one release of this jailbreak firmware out there that will load games off an SD card, and people are starting to find little idiosyncrasies and incompatibilities where like Griffey runs differently off an SD card than it does off the real cart and stuff like that. So that thing, it sounds like on the official firmware front and on this other side, there's still work to be done to just make that a better SNES. Like it's not quite there yet in some ways. And that's been interesting to watch.
Give me a quick refresher on how Bleem operated. Do you remember Bleem? It was like the
Dreamcast-based PlayStation 1
so
emulator.
Bleem was originally on the PC. Then there were Bleemcast discs.
That's right.
Yep.
That took advantage of the same loophole that allowed people to burn Dreamcast games and boot them on retail hardware to get their discs to boot.
Didn't they get taken to court?
They did.
Yeah.
I believe they won. And Connectix, who put out Virtual Game Station, which was a PlayStation emulator for the Mac, they definitely got taken to court, and they beat Sony because they were not using any of Sony's code.
Gotcha.
They were not using a BIOS dump. They had figured out their own way to make it work, and were selling it. And Bleem was more or less doing the same thing. I think Bleem just got bullied out of existence by just the numerous legal actions taken against them. That at some point you just like can't afford it.
I didn't know that they did it without the BIOS. I was under the assumption, I think Brad was as well, that like all sorts of emulation or emulators needed that BIOS to work. But
yeah, I mean, you just emulate those hooks too.
Yeah,
along with all the other stuff. And like I said, it's you get a lot of work done by just providing an official BIOS because the official BIOS knows how to handle being a BIOS, whereas coding your own BIOS from scratch. And a lot of the stuff has come a long way to where it is very close to the compatibility of the real device. Like I think Atari ST emulation, there is a replacement BIOS for Atari ST that is unofficial that works quite well to where it's recommended in a lot of cases for Atari ST emulators and stuff like that. But there may be cases that I'm not aware of where like some ST software is going to require that original BIOS. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, they can do that work too.
Interesting. Okay.
I totally just lost the email I was about to read. Here it is. Tristan from Sydney, Australia. Last week, you guys were talking about old Garfield games and mentioned one on the PS2 called Garfield Saving Arlene. I was born in the early 90s, and Garfield was not a huge part of my life. I know he's a cat who hates Mondays and loves lasagna.
You got it.
I was fairly certain that he did not drink lean, but had to find out.
Drink lean?
As I started Googling it, I realized that the title may, in fact, be a reference to lean lasagna. I can't find anything about this game online. Is he breaking into chemists and stealing cough syrup, or is he just looking for the perfect light but tasty lasagna?
What the fuck is lean to him? Like,
codeine is referred to as lean.
Yeah. Codeine and
syrup
and like Sprite.
Scissors.
Garfield is on a quest to save Arlene.
Sipping lean.
What? Here in the States?
Yeah.
What?
Here in this building, I bet.
I've never heard
There's
that.
someone who is listening to
phrase.
DJ Screw tapes right now.
Okay. All
with
right.
their eyes like this, just half closed.
Oh, that was me.
I thought that was Ben.
Also, apparently in
Off
Australia,
that lean. Yeah, that's right.
where pharmacists are known as chemists,
idea.
but
chemists,
but lean
But
is
lean is
universal.
universal. Yeah.
Okay.
Arlene, Arlene, is Garfield's girlfriend.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's who he's saving.
Yeah.
I got through this entire email not knowing if this is just a dumb joke or if he's just
Garfield would never save lasagna.
If
he would never
sincerely-
stand for that.
He would eat
Full
it.
fat
He would not
lasagna.
save it.
Yeah, full
The
fat.
lean cuisine? Not into it.
He's probably more of a Stouffer's cat. Is that what we're thinking? Okay.
I thought it was a euphemism for my butt because I got such a lean butt,
Man,
It can also be that.
Yeah.
I've been thinking a lot about lasagna the past 5 days. Also, started a new diet 5 days ago. Weird
All
coincidence.
lasagna?
All
Yeah.
lasagna.
Yeah.
Interesting how that works out. Let's see.
Lasagna's really good.
I don't love lasagna. It's fine.
But
But
it
I
depends
would,
on the level of like ricotta cheese.
yeah,
like
I would rarely seek it out. If presented with lasagna, I'm in. But I'm probably never going to order it.
I've always, whenever I've
Never
made
gonna make
it, I don't. I use a little bit of ricotta, but I use like a ricotta mozzarella parmesan blend,
Okay.
and it gets a little not creamier. It gets a little more like chewy. rather than
That
like
sounds all right.
lasagna cheese, which
Yeah,
is very
ricotta
like
is not
loose.
like I'm not huge on it.
Lasagna is like an Italian enchilada.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Chris from Austin, Texas.
Just blew my mind.
Now that microtransactions have penetrated the franchise pizza market, which practice of getting more out of the customer is worse or less ethical? Domino's offering carry-out pizza insurance for people who can't get their pizzas home without dropping them, or Papa John's offering a fast pass style incentive that moves your delivery to the front of the line
Is that real?
with the disclosure that this won't affect other orders' delivery times.
That's bullshit.
Whatever.
That's not how prioritization works, John.
Is that real?
I have to assume, unless he's full of shit, I didn't like go to Papa John's website because I'm not going to eat Papa John's. But
Check
I'm
it
gonna
out.
go- I'm gonna
They
go
already
to
do microtransactions. Like, what, 75 cents for additional pepperoni?
that was
Come
one,
on.
yeah, totally. That's been around forever.
Yeah.
I mean, at some point, like over the last 5 years, they started very actively charging a delivery fee.
Yep.
Did they?
Whereas that used to be kind of rolled into the base price and stuff, and now like when
That
you
was
order
just-
from Domino's, it's $3.
Like itemized for delivery.
Yeah,
Huh.
Yep.
and
then
then
you got
and then they
that tip
have
on
to
top of
yeah
that?
they have to come out and say, hey, any delivery fee you pay is not a tip.
Yep.
Like they had to come out and
Oh,
say
wow.
that because people were probably going like,
Assuming
oh, this is a
that-
built-in tip. I don't have to tip my driver anymore because it's delivery fees right
Drivers
here.
are like, oh, shit.
Yeah, so they had to clarify that.
Oh, shit.
What
Let's
do you-
order a
What do
pizza.
you got?
At Papa John's, we always strive to deliver your pizza in a safe and timely manner.
Mhm.
However, we recognize there might be some situations where you would like your pizza a little faster on busy nights where there might be a longer wait due to the number of orders at the restaurant. For an extra fee that may be based on date, time, or Papa John's sole discretion, Papa Priority, one word, will ensure that your
Papa
pizza
Priority.
is made faster and out for delivery sooner. Papa Priority only applies to a pizza you
Priority.
order directly from Papa John's and pay the Papa Priority fee in addition to the applicable delivery fee.
So it's like surge pricing
yeah.
for pizza.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm hearing.
Papa Priority does
This
not
sucks.
guarantee that your pizza will be delivered within a set period or that it will be hot.
What?
This
Or
sucks.
that'll be hot. Nice.
There is no
Man.
refund for Papa Priority.
Thought Papa John's had enough of a public image problem already.
Oh, well, that dude's out.
Oh, I
Yeah,
know.
now
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Papa
No, I mean-
Priorities.
I mean-
Papa Priorities in
I-
charge now.
I
and
mean the
Papa Priority is not showing up drunk at supermarkets to
The-
take pictures with frat guys.
Not
entire
yet.
brand has got issues. That sucks.
They didn't mention how
Yeah.
much the
Like
Papa Priority.
yeah, it's like
price was?
it's like
I saw
That was
one
the-
thing say $3.
it's
but
this
it varies by
incredibly
state.
vague.
Yeah.
The sole discretion of Papa John's part was the part that's like fucking what? So it might be $50 if it's busy enough. Like okay,
And like you're not
Surge
pushing
pricing.
other pizzas to the back of the line,
My
so
ass.
you're just like, so what does that mean? You have like a dedicated crew on staff for just these priority
Just the
orders,
priority oven.
and like they're just sitting around idle if no one's paying the fee?
it's like white glove pizza service.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
what? How the fuck does that supposed? Fuck that shit.
The Papa John's thing sounds way worse.
Yeah.
Like, the Domino's thing is just kind of baffling.
That's
like,
funny. I thought
guess.
when I saw that commercial, I was like, that's kind of funny.
do they charge extra for that? I thought that was just some goofy fucking hook
Yeah,
over there.
I thought
Like
it was like,
oh, if you drop it, fuck man.
we've all been there.
Yeah,
That sucks,
We'll hook
dude.
you up. I thought it was more like that, and not like, hey, we're gonna charge you an extra fee in case you drop it. Like
Oh no, I dropped this pizza. Half of it fell in the gutter. Can I get another whole one?
whoops, this one fell into my face, mouth. It's dirty in there.
My
I
face
can't.
mouth is very dirty. I need a clean pizza.
So what? If, okay, here's what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
We're gonna go get a pizza. We're gonna pick it up. I'm gonna take it out of my car.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna chew and spit out this entire pizza. Get most of the flavor out of it.
Yeah.
Have a good time with this pizza.
So far, sounds like a healthy and normal
Yeah.
plan.
Yeah.
treat it like
This is-
chewing gum.
Spit it back into the box, then walk back in and go, I dropped it.
A,
And then I'm gonna get a whole new pizza
a dog bit it.
and then eat that one and swallow that one because I need nutrients. I'm not crazy. But I get double pizza taste.
Double pizza taste.
I'm not gonna throw it up.
Yeah.
I just won't swallow it.
Right. Yeah, healthy.
Right?
That's
yeah.
that's the line.
Yeah.
Where it becomes.
It's mangled.
Follow me
You
on
can't-
Instagram. No.
Can't eat that again.
Pizza insurance.
I watched a dude vape a ghost pepper
Oh,
yesterday.
man.
Sorry, no, he didn't vape it. He put it in a. You saying follow my Instagram reminded me of this. I watched a man grind up a ghost pepper, put it into a bong, and then smoke it.
Ugh.
The lungs.
Boy.
He
Into the lungs.
he like took one little hit, and he was like, oh, and he took a big hit, and then
he died.
He started vomiting.
He started vomiting. Yeah, I'm sure.
Cool.
Into
Well,
There's some video I was watching. It was like he was vaping. He had built some kind of fucking turbo vape rig that I don't remember. I can't remember what the fuck he was vaping, but it was like he did it, and you were like, "Oh, that guy's gonna die."
Yeah.
220 light up.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Only halfway though.
Whatever
Yeah.
whatever you got. Whatever you can
Smoke half of it if you got it.
get your hands on.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be 210?
Look, fucking math wizard.
This guy's a cop.
Shit. There's
Let's
always one.
read another email. Grant from Texas. Tell me everything you know about the Hyper Neo Geo 64. Are there any good games for it? Was it considered impressive at the time? I have never seen one in person and was curious if there was any nostalgia surrounding.
I got nothing.
I don't
know
know.
what
I
it
don't
is.
think I've ever seen one before.
It's
It's the CD based.
It's not CD based.
Is it not?
No, the Hyper is a
It was a cartridge.
polygonal.
Yeah, it was the.
Well, actually, okay, so yes, actually, it probably was CD based, but it was not Neo Geo CD.
it was nothing. It was yeah.
It was a
It was a separate console.
so
it was the successor to the Neo Geo.
right. Was it a King of Fighters? Some King of Fighters game or Samurai Showdown. The last Samurai Showdown that came to like PlayStation, Warriors Rage, I think it was called, was originally a Hyper Neo Geo 64 game.
Right.
Okay.
And there was like a Fatal Fury maybe, and a lot of these games came to like PS2,
Right.
and they were not great. And they were not great in arcades either.
Whoa! I pulled it up on Wikipedia. They made like 7 games
Yeah,
for it.
yeah, it did not do well.
This thing was like stillborn. Holy
Like
crap!
Bariki 1 is maybe like the only game on it that is interesting because I don't think it got ported anywhere. It's a fighting game, like kind of a martial artsy kind of fight combat sports kind of vibe to it. If I remember right.
Those were it was a popular genre.
And
I don't think this thing was CD based.
it might not have been.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
This says that SNK was positioning it as the successor to
Right.
the MVS.
Yeah,
Like this
and-
was
and
going
so
to be
it
the
was-
next generation Neo Geo arcade.
It was like more powerful. It was like, it was capable of doing 3D, not particularly well, but that was the time. And yeah, they put out a handful of games for it, and it just went away.
Yeah, it got
I'm guessing because it was cartridge based, like they probably wanted to move to like a CD based system, right?
This was 1997.
Okay.
So yeah, it's about time
Yeah.
for carts. For
It is,
sure.
it's definitely cards, not CD.
That's what it looks like.
Huh.
But like, why else would it fail?
Yeah.
I think that's right. This. doesn't-
Well, I mean, like, because at that point, arcades weren't really the same
Yeah.
thing. Like
Yeah.
the PS2 was really eating into arcades.
Yeah.
Even more so, like, that only happened more over time.
Sure.
That's not too far off from the introduction of the Naomi,
Mhm.
which kind of became a more standardized arcade platform. Like, if anything, like Sega's Naomi output is more on par with a Neo Geo successor than this thing ever was.
So I guess building a Neo Geo 64 collection not terribly difficult.
It's
Well, I mean,
it's
some of
probably
these games might be hard to
expensive in
find,
terms
yeah.
of
It's hard to find those NBA
yeah.
2K the middle
Yeah.
middle ones.
Yeah.
Those are rare for sure. Let's see. Question from Ed.
Hi, Ed.
Just curious if you have heard or think there will be any sort of blowback on Epic from Unreal developers for the way they have taken PUBG's ideas and used them for themselves. While none of it was illegal, it certainly felt like a shitty way to treat a business partner. For a budding game developer, this is something that would make me pause before using Unreal. Why should I use their engine if they're just going to take my ideas and use them for themselves before I've even released a game?
Well, they do have a huge track record of not doing that. Also,
I guess
you could argue that those ideas were better than a lot of other. Anyway,
I guess they have licensed quite a few
yes,
or done quite a few engine deals with other developers whose games they did not rip off.
I don't know. I've definitely seen developers who use that engine, or I just developers that use it. I've seen some of them shooting some side eye at Epic and being a little salty about the whole thing, and I've seen some others be like, "Whatever, man, that's business. Your ideas, everyone's got ideas. It's a matter of like, how do you execute on them? How do you position them in the market? Like all that other stuff.
Yeah.
How do you execute on the idea?
I mean, I
don't know. Yeah.
I have to imagine it would start to be a pretty bad look if they did it again.
Right.
Right? Like if they do it a second time, then sure. That's a good like warning sign of, hey, maybe their business practices are a little more ruthless than we consider. Let's look around.
Maybe 10 cents, getting a little more in there than
Yeah.
we thought. And, yeah, I don't know.
Not to like excuse them for like everyone gets one, not that sort of thing. But like if they start making a track record of this, then that's a
yeah.
Then you need to be
yeah.
more worried at that point. But
I don't know. I have not. Yeah, like I said, I've definitely seen some people go like, hey, like people who are game developers and have shipped stuff and seen others that have just been like, fucking whatever, man. This is a cutthroat fucking business. It's rough out there.
Indeed.
I get the impression that they didn't think that this was going to take off as much as it did. And then once it did, they're like, well, maybe we should keep rolling with this.
I doubt anybody could have predicted how much that Fortnite mode would blow up.
No joke.
Yeah.
Let's see. Email from Mitchell. I had the pleasure to see They Might Be Giants just last Friday. Yes,
Cool.
they're still around in case that snark gets said.
no.
It was a fantastic time, but John Flansburgh had a funny anecdote about a different venue that had people playing games in the back. He explained the game as a shooter, and judging how he reenacted the main character awkwardly idling in the main menu, I'd wager it was PUBG. Considering these guys are crotchety old men constantly on tour, I'm sure it's no...
Playing at barcades, apparently.
Yeah. I'm sure it's no wonder that they are unaware of game things, so it was funny hearing their take on how odd it was. Since you guys are so ingrained in the games business, have you had any outside sources, such as spouses or colleagues, point out something odd that you would have otherwise overlooked?
Fuck that. I cut those people out of my life. I don't need them. You don't understand my games, you don't understand me.
To live is to game.
That's what the t-shirt says.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I mostly read this email because I hadn't thought about They Might Be Giants in a long time.
Yeah, they put out an album
Playing at a barcade.
pretty recently.
Yeah. And yeah, the idea of them play for
So barcades have fucking like LAN setups now? Is that the thing?
Oh,
like,
yeah,
are they
yeah,
full-on
yeah.
internet cafes
Absolutely.
now?
or
Absolutely,
there's the more
yeah.
disturbing possibility that this was not any kind of bar situation at all, and they were just playing some kind of LAN event.
I could see it.
Yeah.
In my mind, They Might Be Giants would be playing bigger venues than what this sounds
Well,
like.
I don't know.
Like I would think they would be doing like big sized auditoriums.
They would always come to like the Great American Music Hall when they would come through here,
Okay.
or the Warfield sometimes.
I would
too,
even
but-
I would have even thought maybe bigger than maybe I've
Yeah.
vastly overestimating how much people like them.
Yeah,
They have a very core following.
Yes.
Dedicated core following.
Yeah. They put out a lot of kids albums for a while there.
Yeah.
They
Whoa.
kind of
Yeah.
they kind of fluctuate back and forth.
Huh.
Between like, hey, this one's about the alphabet.
Yeah, a bunch
Wow.
of sciencey stuff too.
Yeah.
It's very like savvy reading on your fan base and their
Yeah, like it did quite well for them.
where
I guess,
they're
from my
at in
understanding.
life. It's
Yeah.
like, hey, now our fans are all grown up. Let's sell music for their kids.
You don't make the music for Kablam without getting into a few kids records.
That's fair.
I don't
But
know
no,
that.
I can't think of any. Like
Yeah, I
anecdotes that-
think, yeah, I don't know.
I still try and explain my job to
Right, like that's the kind of
family. They have no idea what I do.
You know what's an interesting one that I've kind of run into recently is just the idea of Discord is kind of hard for some people to understand who don't understand. Because like it's one thing. Because I mean, it's one thing to play like. All right, the four of us are gonna hop in Discord and play a game of PUBG.
Right.
It's another thing where it's like I have a Discord and I'm friends with these people and we're all gonna hop in voice chat and like two people are playing PUBG. I'm playing Rivals of Aether. Like it's kind of hard to explain that. Like you're not even playing the same game.
Or like some people are watching a wrestling pay-per-view
Yeah.
and complaining about that, and or not voice chatting at all.
like somebody's
and it's just
grinding
kind
Monster
of
Hunter. Yeah, and people like that. My partner came home one day and I was just on Discord and they were like, "What is that?" And I was like, "It's kind of like a chat." Like I had to take some mental gymnastics
Right.
to kind of explain what it was because like it's very easy to be like, "Oh, we're all playing a game together," but then I'm like, it's like an internet chat room where we're talking
with voice,
where
right?
we're all playing different video games, and it's just like it was like, okay, this is a little weird.
It's a conference call.
like it's like how do you or like it's like because at some point you go like it's like Slack and
Yeah.
Skype in one thing. Does that help?
We're
No,
focused around video games,
but kind of focused around video games.
look at these funny
For
loading
the
messages.
Like the stuff that is like that's the worst stuff about Discord is the loading messages.
The more
And
that
the patch note stuff.
1 out of every 10 is good.
the more that Discord logs start showing up in real world news, maybe the more familiar society at large will become with it. Here's an email from Emil. where he mentions that Casey from Oregon last week asked if there were more SNES games with Super or Nintendo 64 games with 64. He did the research.
Oh.
The math.
From a total of 1,766 Super Nintendo and Super Famicom games in the database, there are a whopping 183 game titles which start with the word Super.
Okay.
That's over 10% of all Super Nintendo games. For the N64, there are 59 games that end with 64 from a total of 378 titles. Also, I had no idea there were so few N64 games compared to the SNES.
Yeah.
Bonus fun fact. Remember how there seemed to be a bunch of games for the DS with subtitles that abbreviated to DS? There are 22 titles on the site that follow this. There are a few extra cases with regional differences, such as Contra 4 also being known as Contra Dual Spirits. He sent the full list of DS games with DS over. There's some weird stuff in here, such as Mr. Driller Drill Spirits.
Drill Spirits, yeah.
Bleach Dark Souls.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right.
The Dark Souls of Bleach games, yeah. No.
Dig Dug Digging Strike. And the Idol Master Dearly Stars.
Dearly Stars.
In case anybody's...
I guess I never put it together.
Idol Master fans.
Yeah,
yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
Dumb stuff.
I like it.
Yeah.
There's like the Castlevania stuff was all around that for a little bit.
Dawn
Or
of
like,
Sorrow.
Dawn of Sorrow.
yeah.
I think that was the only one that was DS.
But then there was also,
Yeah.
they did the HD Castlevania game for consoles, and that was Harmony of Dissonance, wasn't
yes,
it?
Right.
that's- oh god,
Yeah.
you're right. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh, man. Yeah.
I never put that together. That's totally dumb.
Damn it. How did I not know?
All right, a couple more
Wow.
emails. Andrew from New Jersey. How many keys are on your key ring? Is there a good amount of keys to have? I feel like too few keys makes it look like you don't know enough people, and too many keys makes you look like a janitor. How many keys is best?
Let's lay them out. What do you got?
All right.
I don't carry my keys around. I put them in my drawer when I get
Oh,
here.
I didn't-
I hate
I got 2 keys. Well, I've got 3 keys.
Although,
One's a
looking-
blade.
looking at the table. I
I'll
have
fucking
like
cut someone.
fucking 3 times as many
I have
keys as
one
you guys.
key. It's not even on a ring.
Yeah, I've got this USB key that I stole.
Okay.
I've got my house key, and then this is a car key.
Yep.
The fob for this
Okay.
thing.
I used to have, like,
I got a
six.
mail. I got a house.
Jeez,
I got
man.
a car.
I've got like
And a fucking
seven-
knife.
6 to 8 keys, something
I
like
used
that.
to have a lot more.
Like,
but
I need 2.
like I've got a bunch of keys like in my wallet now that are cards. You know.
I used to have way more that I just realized I don't need to have with me all the
Yeah.
time. Like
Yeah.
I've got a separate key ring still somewhere else that's just like, oh, here's the key to get in my mom's house. You know,
Yeah,
whatever
sure.
that
I got
don't
one of those,
I don't need that on me.
Put that under the doormat.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, don't do that. God, I need 3 separate keys just for my apartment building. That's,
These fobs have gotten so big.
Oh yeah. See, I have a key card to get into my apartment
oh
building.
wow, that's fancy.
It's
Yeah.
not.
No.
It's not.
No,
I realized the other day that so my dad collected keys. Like just you find your way into keys that you don't know what they open, right?
Mhm.
And you like he had a key ring with like fucking 150 keys on that motherfucker. It was just like tons of keys.
Huh.
Just over the years, just
Yeah.
like you throw them on the
Find-
same key ring, and
Find a
suddenly
key,
you got
just put it on there.
all these keys, no idea what the fuck they do. And then I was like cleaning up my place yesterday, cleaning up a desk, and I realized that I also have somehow found my way into a key collection, but it's because I always take keys from hotels and don't turn them back in when I check
really?
out. So I have like a stack of cards.
Huh.
And I was going through it and realized like, oh, this is like my Street Fighter 4 arcade,
Yeah.
like my Ken card. there was a a VFNet card in there.
Wow.
But also just like fucking 30 keys to the W in Seattle because that's for wherever, or whatever different hotels I
hold
stay
up
at when
in.
I've been on the road over the years. And I just started throwing them somewhere and realized like I have a fucking huge some of them are branded with video games.
That's how it starts.
Oh sure.
Yeah.
Because they'll, so I have like
E3s.
Yeah.
Call of Duty Advanced Warfare hotel keys and just like dumb shit like that too.
Can you repro those? I'm sure there's got to be something.
I mean,
is it-
the
are
magnetic
the
strips
magnetic
probably wear
strips?
out
Sure.
over time. But if you got one while it was fresh, like, yeah, there's no
Huh.
reason why you couldn't read
Yeah,
it and
yeah, 'cause they-
reproduce it.
Yeah, because they rewrite them all the time.
Yeah.
I greatly relish throwing those things in the trash. Because when hotels switched to
yeah.
key cards at first, I remember thinking like, oh God, they're going to ding me if I don't turn this thing back in. Like I'm going to get charged or something. Like
It's
I
got to
felt
be worth $20.
I felt like I had to remember to give them the key card every time. And then once it finally dawned on me that they didn't care.
Yeah.
It was very exciting.
I give the keys back.
I
Or
have
leave them in
tons.
the-
If I
leave them in
remember,
the room.
if I remember, I'll give it to them. But if I don't,
It'll always be like I'll have 2 keys to a room, and I'll remember to give one back, and then find the other one in my backpack like 2 weeks
Oh,
later,
yeah.
and go, oh, huh.
yeah, it's
Where
always,
that secret hiding spot is.
always stuff like that.
I lose hotel keys, or I leave them in the room. I just
Yeah,
fuck
yeah.
up and leave both in the room, and end up with like 3, and then throw them all away at once. It feels good.
I got locked out of my room one night. They had to call up security to let me back in. Like security check. Like they checked my ID as soon as I got back into the room. Oh man.
That's what they should do. They
Yeah.
shouldn't just let someone say, hey,
Yeah.
I'm this person. Let me into this hotel room to
Yeah.
get this Nintendo 64.
Right.
Yeah, that's not a good thing to do.
This last
do
E3,
that?
Just
it was my first day of E3. I went out and had a couple drinks with Dan and Abby that first night, and I got pretty drunk because I hadn't been drinking in a long time. And I got back and I was just like at the front desk, like, you need to let me in the room. You gotta let me in this room.
Wow.
Oh boy.
And it was just like, I can't believe I lost it. It's my first day at E3 ever, and I lost my key. And then she was just like, yeah, sure. It was like 3 a.m. or something.
Right. She's like, okay,
yeah, fine. You're one of the games people.
Yeah.
just act like
big
act
surprise.
Drunk already, huh?
act like you're supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Act like you belong
Right.
there.
That's
People will do anything for you. Just carry a clipboard around.
Yeah.
Make it look like you're official. All right. Last email is from Luke in Edinburgh. Last week, the Australian fast food discussion took an inaccurate turn when you mentioned that the Aussie term for McDonald's, Macca's, feels like a British thing. Our brethren down under go out of their way to get crazy with slang, and I felt the need to clarify. Over here, we most certainly do not call it Macca's, but Mackies. A clear distinction.
In Australia,
Oh.
it's Mackey's?
No. In Australia, it's Macca's. In the UK, it's Mackies. A clear distinction. Sometimes Mackie D's or Mickey D's.
Okay.
Gaza is definitely a thing, though. Notably, ex-footballer and colorful character Paul Gascoigne being known throughout the UK simply as Gaza. God, I gotta make sure I get this right. Jezza for Jeremy as well,
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Jezza.
and Laz for Lauren
Yeah.
are similar cases, although I only ever heard Laz in high school. We also sometimes use half a person's last name and add an O to refer to a buddy,
Huh.
so long as it doesn't sound daft. For example, someone with the last name Stevenson being called Steve-O.
Okay.
I can see it.
Can't do it with
Thanks
mine.
for the
Yeah.
work. Were there any regional nickname conventions where you came from?
No conventions, really.
Yeah.
Other than just like, what's the meanest thing you could come up with about a person and just call them that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know if is throwing a Y on the end of someone's name in an American convention, or is that a world like
I feel-
Benny? Like
Benny,
I had
I
some
don't know, yeah.
some
Jasony,
people I knew who
Janny,
would do that,
Janny.
who would just throw Y's on the end of
Janny.
people's names.
Right.
I did
Sweetberry wine. Go on.
Around here, nicknames are a blood sport.
What were your guys' childhood nicknames?
I never had
I
any.
didn't really, yeah.
I
lot.
have no idea. I know I got teased a lot. Like Green Bean Giant was a
We
was
hung
a
out.
big one.
We hung out with a dude in college that I knew for like 2 years as Troll.
Jolly
And
Green
never,
Giant.
and like in that entire time, never had any
I still
idea
have a
what his
friend,
real name
Skate.
was.
We
Yeah.
just call him Skate.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got Fingers. Fingers was an early nickname I
Okay.
got because I could like palm a ball
Mm.
early
Mm.
on, and people thought were freaked out by that.
That's good.
There's a guy that we just called Guy for a while because we didn't know his name.
When
That
I was in community college, there was another. I was on the newspaper and I was an editor, and there was a fresh batch of people coming in, and we went around the room, and I was like, "Hi, my name is Ben." Blah blah blah. And I was like, "We can't have two Bens. I'm gonna call you Brutus."
What?
He
pretty
still
good.
goes by Brutus to this day.
Oh, jeez.
He lives, in SoCal. He's like a math. He's working on his like math master's degree, and on Facebook his name is Brutus. Whatever.
Introduces himself as
Yeah,
Brutus.
yeah.
Jeez, man.
Don't
So,
let them take your name, man.
I felt really powerful just assigning this
Yeah.
changing this man's name for the rest of his life.
I think you're legally his parent or guardian now.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I gotta go.
Yeah.
I have a lot of friends that only go by their Instagram handles now.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Oh.
Yeah. So
I'll have friends
in
that-
person.
Yes, in person.
Oh, that's
yeah.
rough.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I'm blah 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 _1. They'll mention the underscore and everything. Yeah.
Really? Wow. That's their
Like
identity.
first, you gotta get
now.
first meetings.
Yeah,
Like
totally.
introducing
I
yourself
knew we
to
would
somebody.
reach this point at some time in history.
Esports only accelerated it.
That's why mine is just my name because
Yeah.
got to stick with the
Feel
handle
so
and
bad about
everything.
it, yeah.
right.
Yeah.
That's
That's rough.
it's like it's all about branding.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone wants to become famous, sell themselves.
Get those nutrient bars.
Those teas
Yeah.
and stuff.
Fit
Yeah.
tees.
But it's funny because a lot of them are like a nickname of their actual name,
Yeah.
and then a animal, and they thought I didn't fit in because mine's just Jan Jerome. So they're like, we'll start calling you Jantelope now. All right? Okay, cool.
Okay.
At least they chose it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of
They're
think
like,
you
"Oh, cool."
kind of can't choose your own nickname.
That's true.
I mean,
Unless
you choose your own
it's-
hand. You know,
Yeah.
yeah.
it's, you know.
And I assume
I
you
don't
were like,
understand
okay,
what's
cool,
going
thanks,
on.
guys, and then you never contacted them again.
Never. Yeah.
Yeah, there were definitely periods of time where like I, was meeting like people I only knew from IRC and realized that they have a completely different context on my identity than I do, and I was like,
Okay.
oh, this is fucking weird.
Yeah.
It's like tournament players, right? You only know them as their
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. There's a lot
Names.
of,
I go back and forth on it. Like I used to always say, like, man, esports isn't going to be legit until these people start going by their real names. And I still think, in a mainstream sense, that is true now, but it will probably change.
They're just making their handles their real names.
But yeah, maybe at some point, like, actually, we just need to say, like, oh, when you turn 17, 19, some age, you get a free name change. You get one free name change.
You get to just add a username to your legal records. You
Yeah.
can still be Ben Pack, but you also get to be whatever you want.
Right.
Phoenix Killer 97.
One alias.
Yeah.
And that's the only people who are verified on Twitter are people that have that name,
Yeah.
and it's that name
Yeah.
Forever.
forever.
They didn't do the engineering work
Yeah.
ahead of time
No,
to let you
you're
change it.
fucking
so you're stuck with
Anakin
it.
420. Good fucking going, dumbass.
All right, that's it for emails.
Jantelope.
Yeah, man. Ugh.
because my name rhymes with like AN
Yeah.
words.
Yeah,
it's
that
it's the worst.
Yeah.
Like, hey, it's the janitor coming in.
Oh,
Yeah.
Janinator.
Oh,
Yeah. This
Good
shit's
one, guys.
The
You got
shit's
me.
growing on me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Bombcast, China Bomb.
This is going to be fun.
Yeah.
I won't do that to you.
Like Mega Jan's cool. That's nice.
Oh, okay.
But
Mm.
nah.
All right, that's it for meals. How's your water doing? Is there any?
There's maybe about a third of it left.
Wow,
here.
okay.
Is that glass,
Is
plastic?
it still cold?
It's like a
Like
ceramic, dual
ceramic?
lined. I mean, I don't know.
Oh,
You wanna
man.
get
You
in?
went all out.
Was it
Oh my God,
bulletproof?
honestly, if we want to just,
Well, it's
like
sheathed
recap the
in
last 10
something.
years of podcasting.
Whoa.
That's a lot smaller than I thought it was.
It's like
That's pretty intense.
it's a vacuum lined,
Mm.
so it holds its
Ooh, it's
Wow.
clicky.
it holds its temperature for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. Like,
Awesome.
if you were putting coffee in this, like
Right.
you're probably supposed to, it would be hot like 12 hours later,
Right.
like all this sort of stuff.
That's just crazy.
Or you could just,
Wait, you
drink
got
it.
hot
I like how
coffee?
you load it into that sheath like it's an artillery shell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
That's-
you're going to launch it somewhere.
Well, I feel like I'll drop it. It'll slip out of my hands if it's not in this sheath. I thought about taking the strap off it because it's like,
How
not
else are you
carrying
going
it
to
No,
put
but
it
then
around your...
they'll get mad at you at demonstrations if you don't have the strap on.
fair enough.
Right.
That's true.
How else are you going to carry it around your neck?
Yeah, that's a good point too.
And then just
So,
tilt back to take
Yeah.
a sip.
yeah. Now I'm gonna wear this like a beer hat.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
Strap it right on there. Did you ever go to the bathroom?
I went there in the first break.
Okay.
That's
all
what's
right.
in the bottle.
I was giving you
But
too
that's,
much. I was
uh,
giving you too much credit.
Yeah, no, but I have definitely. That scared the shit out of me,
All
man.
right, we have to go. That's not gonna play on the audio show
No,
at all.
but like, what the fuck?
Wow.
Ghost Cup is coming my way.
that was
Ben is a wizard. I'm dying.
that was pretty impressive.
God damn, man.
That was real good.
I hope that was at least on camera.
It got to Jeff.
Okay. All right. Great. Well, on that note, stick around if you're watching live. There's going to be an after show.
After show, we're gonna
Yeah.
get the spirits out of this room.
Yeah, there needs to be an exorcism after that in here for
God
sure.
damn.
Yep. All right. Thanks for listening. See you next week.